It's Monday night in the Coast to Coast Racing League. I'm Zach Chapman, part of Shaggy TV and the Slide Job Racing Network, here alongside Connor Ross. He's going to be bringing us some live racing action tonight. And the Coast to Coast Racing Network welcomes you to the 358 Open Division, sponsored by the Oshweekend Speedway here. We're here in Knoxville tonight. Should be a good show. We're very familiar with this track. We put on charity races here, and I think my man in the booth, he's got some experience here. Tell us a little about this place, Connor.
It's a fast racetrack. Modifieds here always put on good action, but the later divisions, the 360s, Renegades, and Rebels, those will be some great action here. As you already know what happened with Blake Chapman in the charity race. He put on a spanking on the field there on me as well. So some people are going to have some revenge for him here, but no, you're going to see some great action and some high speeds here at Knoxville.
Yeah, and speaking of charity action, my man, right to the point here. Tomorrow night is night number 1 of the Super Dirt Car Series charity week. Sorry, I'm stumbling here on myself. But this is a big one. We normally do this every year, and he won't take all the credit for it. But Dean Reynolds is a big proponent of doing this, and shout out to him for pushing this every year. This is always a good show. We're gonna run the small blocks and the big blocks. It'll be should be 75 laps, I believe, and 100 laps. But tomorrow night will just be the qualifiers. If you haven't signed up yet, feel free to sign up. They're still taking entries. It'll be $15 for one class or $20 for both. And like I say, if you get yourself signed up, you'll maybe get a chance to be interviewed by me tomorrow, because I'll be on that call for qualifying night and possibly in the booth alongside Marty Cicallo on Thursday night. We'll have to see how that goes and who ends up getting that responsibility. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. We've been through 6 races. As I said, this race number 7 here at Knoxville. Anthony Morano is your current point leader, and boy, does he have a big lead. 71 points to the closest man, who happens to be Samuel Bachman. Samuel Bachman's in that P2 spot. No wins yet this season, and Logan Wentz is right behind him in the 3rd position, 7 points back with 1 win. But, man, Anthony Morano, Connor, 6 races this year, 6 top 5s, 2 wins.
He's always strong in the modifieds. We've raced side by side a lot in these Monday night open division and Thursdays, and he's always one to contend with. Even if he's not up front, he's going to make a charge to top 5, like you said, and the podium. So he's always one to have keep an eye open for him. Tonight this is another track that he likes. He's really good here. I mean, he's good everywhere. Stats show it, as he's a points leader.
Yeah, he really is. He's been the model of consistency here throughout the season. It seems like he always finds himself in the right position, even after, it's tough getting the pole. Sometimes you got to start in P4 there in the heat, but he always seems to come out shining. And I expect the same from him tonight. But as you see, they're getting ready to roll off here for qualifying. Let's find first person to pull off here. Looks like Brandon Templeton. Let's go ahead and do this first lap here with Brandon. Right now you see Brandon, he's going to get for that high exit out of turn 3 and 4. Look to carry a lot of speed into turn 1 and 2. Does a good job of floating right up there against the marbles. Anxious to see if this is just going to be a turn 1 or lap 1 line for him, or if he's going to try the bottom next time around, as we see he diamonds 3 and 4. As the time start coming in, that's going to put Brandon Templeton so far P3 with Dean Reynolds, the man we talked about earlier. Right now he's on the pole with a 1962. Shadow Board, as he crosses the line, gets real close to touching the wall, but doesn't. But that lap is not going to be an improvement. But we do have a new pole sitter Sean Akins right now. Anthony Morano, P2. On lap number 2 here. Let's see if he can improve. And he's not going to improve, but the 007 or the 107, Samuel Bachman, he improves on the second lap with a 1957. He's your new pole sitter. And, you know, we got 28 cars tonight, so just at the max. Doesn't look like we're going to need. Oh, wait, no, we take 24. That's right. That was an error on my part, I think. Connor, are you done qualifying? If you are, double check for me. How many do we take? Is it 28 or 24?
I'm pretty sure it's 24. I'm not even sure. I'm new to this stuff. I don't know. I think it's 24.
That's
because you're taking 4 from. We have 4 heats, taking 4.
I'm thinking
so you.
Correct. I'm thinking.
We'll have it B main.
Let's go ahead and give you the starting grid here for heat race number 1. We got Brian Lawson in the number 9 on the pole. Outside of him, the 011 of Randall Dixon. The inside of row number 2, we have the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Tis outside the 107 of Samuel Bachman. The inside of row number 3, we've got the 93 of Jason Butterfield. On his outside, the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. Last but not least, rounding out the field tonight in the 883 is going to be Bud Mott. Oh, it's the first time that looked decent. Finally figured out how to get the grid display up. Gonna turn that off. Oh yeah, we're looking good now. To everybody out there, I was joking too with Jeff Kemper. If anybody's watched me, they know I can't ever get it to say anything but weed sport. Our man Marty Cicala helped me figure it out, and the green should be coming out here as they're coming out of turn 4. It's time to play in Knoxville. Brian Lawson with a good jump, able to clear and slide high. Right now it looks like the battle is on for 4th. Trent Verstraeten looking to the outside of the 99 of Gavin Chatham. I don't know if he's going to be able to clear him, though. Where do you think the preferred line is right now, Connor?
Definitely up top. You can keep up your momentum. Later on in the night, you will see guys dive down to the bottom, but right now it is a train to the top as you see Chapman get in 5th there and Verstraeten around him on the high side. So the high side is definitely where you want to be right now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Kind of looked like he was hung down there on the bottom line, and it's surprised to see Samuel Bachman. He's looking to peak, but he knows he's got a big gap, I imagine, if he's got that mirror on to Trent Verstraeten. So he's got time to do a little work here on the bottom and try to go to work on Randall Dixon.
His car looks pretty good in that groove right there. Trent's not really gaining any. He's gaining up to Dixon there a lot, but they get him on exits. You're just carrying a lot more momentum there on the top side. He can drive down and kind of diamond it a little bit, but he dives down for second.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's looking for second there. I bet hoping Randall Dixon was going to peak to the bottom there on Brian Lawson. He thought about it for a second, but he just peeked back up in line, and now we've got the guy in 4th place, Trent Verstraeten. He's thinking about trying out that bottom side a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of seen what Brackman's been able to do and just kind of following his footsteps. He has some a gap behind him, so he can figure out what he wants to do and try and change up his line.
Yeah, riding on board right now with Trent Verstraeten. You see Samuel Bachman not giving up, keeps peeking to the bottom there looking for second, but I just don't think he's going to have much luck right now down there on the bottom.
He gets a nice run off of 4 there. So I'd prefer the top right now, but hey, it's working for Bachman.
Oh, and I missed that. That was the checkered flag there. That was a little disappointing. Connor, pull me up the results there, that last one.
I just hopped in the car, or else I would have.
All right, let me see if I can figure this out here. Results. Well, I got the blabbering. That won't happen again, ladies and gentlemen, for this. I'll pull up the iRacing here while they're getting gridded and give us an exact finishing order. But for right now, let me give you the starting grid here. Got John Morano in the 033 on the pole to his outside, Randy Shreves in the 56. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 183 of Matt Schaefer, and to his outside, the 332 of Sean Akins. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, and the 39 is outside, the man in the booth with me, Daddy's Money, Connor Ross. And rounding out the field is going to be the 7 of Bob the Good. Well, Connor, got any words of wisdom before I mute you here?
Keep my nose clean, and this could be a good heat race.
Good luck here, Connor. Gonna mute him, get it rolling here as we're off here. Getting the green flag, Randy Shreve with a good jump on the outside. Gonna make John Morano slide down to the bottom. Think about throwing a slider, but he's still home. No room to do so as Randy Shreve is gonna take the lead here on the backstretch. Right now the battle is on for 4th place. We're 3 wide. Connor Ross on the outside, touching the fence a little bit. Able to keep it straight though and keep her rolling. Hopefully that right front isn't damaged. These things get beat up pretty easy now. Randy Shreve's out front. He is loving this, able to walk away to almost a half a second gap as Sean Akins is going to clear John Morano on the outside for P2, and it looks like John's going to lose P3 to Matt Schaefer as well. Now he's in the clutches of Patrick Spengler and Connor Ross as we're 3 wide for the final transfer spot. And this is a big deal, as we said. 24 cars going to make the show, and we have 28 registered. So the battle for P4 is really going to matter. And last time by, Randy Shreve with the quickest lap of the race in 19.7. A little quicker this time by a 19.69. So he's just putting it on. But Matt Schaefer actually in 19.61, quickest car on track, the guy in P3. Right now, if you're John Morano, though, you just got to be as smooth as you can. You got to hold on to that final transfer spot as we're coming to 2 to go here this time by. Patrick Spengler in a battle with Bob DeGood for P6. That's not what he wants. He wants to set his sights on Connor. Hopefully they battle for P4, but coming out of turn 4 here, we're about to get the white flag here in final lap of heat number 2. Randy Shreve is going to send it off in there. It doesn't look like Sean is going to be close enough to make a move. Looks like the battle is going to be for P4 to see if Connor Ross can go in there. And he's going to throw it in there. Is he going to slide up? Not enough room to do so. It looks like John Morano is going to beat him as Randy Shreve is coming out of turn 4. He is going to be your heat number 2 winner, followed by Sean Akins, Matt Schaefer, John Morano. Your final transfer spot, Connor Ross in 5th, Patrick Spengler 6th, and Bob DeGood in 7th. Let me go ahead and pull this up and unmute Connor here. Well, Connor, not exactly how you wanted it to go, but it could have been worse, I think.
No, it definitely could have been worse. It was, I'm not used to these cars with the open setup. I like them fixed, but now we'll just try to do everything I could. Go to the back to the drawing board and see what I can quickly make up for the B main.
Alrighty, well, let's give you the starting grid here for heat number 3. We're on the front row. We're on the pole. We have the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83 to his outside. Brandon Templeton in the 31. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 83 of Dylan Kinsey to his outside. The current points leader, the 32 of Anthony Morano. Inside of row number 3, the 555 of Harold Klump to his outside. The 513 of Jeffrey Barker. Rounding out the field tonight in the 099 is going to be Glenn Sharp. As you see the pace car off here. Bernie should be waving the green flag any minute here. There it is. The green is out for heat number 3 here at Knoxville Superspeedway. Spider Monkey in that new paint. I just noticed that. Look, able to clear Brandon Dittmer, throw the slider, but Brandon Dittmer's going to think about peeking back down on the bottom. What did you learn, Connor? Is the high side definitely the place to be like we thought?
I found, well, Morano's throwing it in there, sliding up in front of, but he's making that work. I liked kind of the middle line in 1 and 2, top 3 and 4.
Okay, fair enough. And we know from past, we had a slider for the lead there, but Brandon Dittmer, Dittmer, the Spider Monkey with the crossover able to go back, but Brandon Dittmer is looking to go back low again, and he's going to have him cleared on the backstretch, and I think he got the move done in time to be able to hold on to it here.
Templeton's really fast right now, as you can see, just past Dittmer for the lead. He is. Dittmer's gonna set him up here. He's got him in his tracks, but they are all top 4 are under a blanket.
Yeah, and you know these things. Nothing wrong with nudging a guy out of the way, but there we see it. Brandon Dittmer slider Brandon Templeton, though, with the crossover, and this is going to bring Dylan Kinsey into the mix here for P2 all of a sudden.
This helps Murano big time. The top three racing like that, Murano's able to search a little bit, but the top three kind of pull away a little bit as Kisney is now into second.
Yeah, but Brandon Dittmer, man, he's not going away. He's looking to the top. He made a line happen up there in the Hershey Kisses. He held it hammered down, and he's going for it. Dylan Kinsey, though, he's looking to maybe get that slider done. He doesn't need to, though. It seems like the bottom, if you throw that slider line, you get a little momentum there in 1 and 2. And Anthony Murano tried to look low, had to yank that car down to avoid getting in the side of Dittmer here as they're coming to the checkered flag. And Anthony Murano is going to lose P4 at the line. Brandon Templeton, your winner. Dylan Kinsey, P2. Brandon Dittmer, P3. Jeff Barker, P4. And like I say, Anthony Murano there, P5. Tough break for him. Tried to avoid Brandon Dittmer and ended up costing himself a spot there. Let's go ahead and give you the grid here for heat number 4. Should be the final heat of the night. Starting on the pole, we've got the 19 car of Talon Ulibarri. It is outside. We've got the 213 of Michael Vitale. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 16 of Kyle Fade. It is outside the 79, Dean Reynolds. The inside of row number 3, we have, why did my grid mess up on me there? Logan Wentz in the 118 to his outside, the 171 of Jake Henry, and rounding out the field tonight, and the 831 is Tyler Flynn. Should be another interesting heat here. Definitely for Dean, you're got to battle your tail off. You want to make the show. You don't want to have to go through that consolation. But green flag is out, and they're firing, and a good start there from Michael Vitale on the high side. Easily able to clear Talon Ulibarri as he tries to go up in front of the 79 of Dean Reynolds, but Dean said, hey man, I'm home and I ain't lifting. He's going to go to P2.
Wentz was also in that.
Yeah, three guys in it. Logan Wentz, Kyle Fahey. That's going to make this a easy 4-car battle for the transfer here.
Now this is where for Vitale or Reynolds, you can really test the waters. You got a big enough gap in between you two. You can run different lines, see what the car wants, and see what changes you'll need to make for the features. These guys have a huge gap.
No, you're exactly right. And, you know, maybe not necessarily experimenting, you know, for the feature. We know the track's going to change with the B main and warm-ups, but if you're Dean Reynolds, why not, you know, just try a slider line, do something just to see if you can run down Michael Vitale and experiment a little bit, because you got nothing else to lose. Right now, 3 to go. They're halfway. I hear somebody getting in the fence, I think.
It looks like Dean was closing in a little bit on Vitale. I don't know lap time wise, but
yeah, last
just
time by Dino with a 1957 and Vitale with a 1966, so he did get a 10th here. And let's see how much he pulled him in this time. White flag coming out though. I don't know. He's about a 10th faster, but here on the white flag lap, I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to do it here. Going down the back stretches, Michael Vitale's going to send it off here into turn 3. Make sure he protect that bottom. Dean is going to get a big run, but he's just not going to have enough time, as Michael Vitale's going to be your heat race number 4 winner, followed by Dean Reynolds, Tyler Flynn, Jake Henry, and Logan Wentz. Tough break for Logan, Talon, and Kyle, that first lap mix-up, but they'll have a chance to race their way into the B main here. See here as we got the B main. Let me go ahead and run down your starting grid here real quick. Starting on the pole, we've got the 883 of Bud Molyneux. It is outside the 35 of Connor Ross. The inside of row number 2, we have the 513 of Jeffrey Barker. To his outside, the 118 of Logan Wentz. Inside of row number 3, we have the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Outside, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the P6 spot. Starting in P7, the 555 of Harold Plump to his outside, and in the, I guess we'll be taking, Connor, did you look before you got in the car to see it? So we're taking 8. So yeah, he's starting in the final transfer spot. Kyle Fahey. Inside of row number 5 is going to be Jason Butterfield in the 93 to his outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. And rounding out the field tonight is going to be Glenn Sharp in the 099 and Talon Ulibarri in the 19. Well, Connor, we hope you make it to the A main here, man. Good luck.
Thank you, and I'm pretty sure they're taking 8. I'm 90% sure. Could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with his 8 there because I'm pretty sure we take 24, 4 heats, locking in 4 apiece. Let's do some quick math. I wasn't that smart, but 16, I believe, and 24 minus 16. We're gonna go with 8. And if I'm wrong, definitely not the first time I'm wrong. Ask my wife. But here's rolling around. Should have the 1 to green here. As you see, the pace lights are off. You know, we'll try to give the front their love a little bit, but we know the battle right now is going to be in for row number 4. This guy's battling for that P8 position.
Green, green, green.
And the green flag is out as Connor Ross is able to get a pretty good jump there on the high side, but contact right away from the front too. Connor's kind of able to keep it going, but wow, tough break. Bud Molyneux looks like his night's over. He went to the pits. Jeff Barker able to inherit the new lead. Let's go back to P8. Let's watch this right now. Looks like Bob DeGood right now is in P8. Just got passed by Connor Ross there. They're 3 wide. Right now, Glenn Sharp in that 099. Oh, contact for Bob DeGood. He's going to go around, and that's going to probably end his night. Glenn Sharp there still hanging on to that final transfer spot of P8. You see, I've got the battle box up there in the bottom. You can pay attention to the distances. Glenn's starting to put a gap to Harold Plump. Increasing, it's kind of a second. Let's go back to up front. Let's watch some of the racing up front. While Gavin Chatham tries to run down Jeff Barker for the lead. Let's take a view here if you had some tickets right along the front stretch. Look at this. Look at all that speed they're carrying into turn 1. Gavin Chatham, he's looking low. It's tried to make it hook up. Gets a good speed in the middle of the corner, but needs to float it up on exit, and that's where Jeff is. So nothing he can do. Back to 8th place. Glenn Sharp just increasing his gap there over 8th place, or 9th place. Harold Plump, you see him coming out of the picture right there. That kind of story's almost written for the top 8. I think if these guys behave themselves here with 4 to go, they're halfway. And I think if you're Gavin Chatham, you know, that's kind of what you're thinking. I've got it in the bag. I don't necessarily need to be real aggressive. And then right as I say that, there he goes looking to the bottom as we ride on board. Let's peek out and see if he's going to be able to complete it. Not going to be able to get it done here. So they're coming down the backstretch. They're good. No, they just got the white flag there. I need to learn my track locations were white flag. Gavin Chatham's going to get real aggressive here, it looks like. Ducks it back in line. Is he going to think about a slider? No, he's not going to be able to get to it. Jeff's going to have that cleared. Let's go back and look at 8. Glenn Sharp's got that lockdown, so these are going to be your results. Jeff Barker, P1, Gavin Chatham, Kyle Fahey, Logan Wentz, Patrick Spengler, Connor Ross, Jason Butterfield, Glenn Sharp in your final transfer spot, followed by Harold Plump, Talon Ulibarri, Bob DeGood, and Bud Molyneux. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and we will be back with more action here right after warm-up. Stick with us. And we're back live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Take a look at the top times and warm-ups. Randall Dixon, Brandon Templeton, Michael Vitale, and Brian Lawson. Just peeked his name up in Gavin Chatham, and the man in the booth with me, Connor Ross. Well, Connor, before I do this grid, man, you got any, who's your pick to win tonight here before I mute you?
Well, sorry, I was actually just making a setup change. Let me grid up here. The top 7 is so... top 10. I'm going to go... Dean Reynolds. I think he's got a good shot. He knows what it takes. He's up on the high side there. And from what it seemed like in the warm-ups, you want to be right against that wall up in turn 1 and 2. And then bottom 3 and 4. But Dean Reynolds looked really good in that heat race. So I think he's going to take it.
Well, that's a good pick, Connor, and all the best of luck to you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let me give you a quick rundown of the starting grid here. I'll try to do this as good as I can. They're already starting to roll, so my stuff moves. But starting on the pole, the number 9 of Brian Lawson is outside the 56 of Randy Shreves. The inside of row number 2, the 31 of Brandon Templeton is outside. The 213 of Michael Vitale. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 011 of Randall Dixon. Is outside the 332 of Sean Akins. Inside of row number 4 is going to be Dylan Kinsey on the 083. It is outside Dean Reynolds. Samuel Bachman in P9. Matt Schaefer in P10. Brandon Dittmer P11. Tyler Flynn P12. Trent Verstraeten P13. John Morano 14. And from here on, they've all kind of moved. So Anthony Morano 15. Jeff Barker. Jake Henry. Kyle Fahey, Gavin Chatham, Logan Wentz, Patrick Spangler, Connor Ross, Jason Butterfield, and so we got 30 long laps coming up here at Knoxville Motor Speedway, and everybody knows here, got to be patient. Can't win the race on the first lap, sure as heck can lose it. Just got to do your best to save that right rear tire, not get put in the fence here on the first wall or on the opening straightaway. And if you're on the bottom, when these things get a restart, they tend to jump to the right, so you got to make sure you got it angled right here. But the green flag should be ready to come out, and the green flag is flying as Brian Lawson's able to get a great jump on the bottom. Going to look to possibly slide up in front of the 56 of Randy Shreves. And he is going to be able to do so. And I also, real quick, I forgot to make my pick along with Connor. I'm going with the 31 of Brandon Templeton. I need to say it now before he takes that lead on. That 31 car is coming on the bottom. So he's able to slide up in front of the 56 of Randy Shreves. He's going to park it on him. He's going to keep it going. Right now, Jake Henry, though, in the 171, up 4 spots right now already. Up to P12. He's really climbing, using that high side to get things done. You see the spider monkey, Brandon Dittmer, behind him. Really getting it done. Dean Reynolds right there in the 79, kind of running that middle line. When you run that middle line, though, you get that corner entrance. Doesn't have that. So it's going to slide up and try something a little different. Look for a little more speed, but going back up front, we've got a battle for the lead. Brandon Templeton is clicking it off. We saw him last week. He won in these, and he did not save that right rear tire. He went real hard, and the fireworks are still rolling here at Knoxville, as you see. That's why I've been trying to stay out of this camera. It likes to interfere with it on the backstretch. But right now, Brandon Templeton thinking about it, just can't complete the pass with Brian Lawson able to hold it down here as we're coming up on lap number 5.
Yellow flag.
The caution is out here. Kyle Fahey. Look here. You see he's going to come up behind Trent Verstraeten. He's going to, maybe pinch John Morano in the wall. And, well, that's all she wrote. Nowhere John could go, nothing he could do there. So, tough break, and live to race another day here is Brian Lawson, still your man up front. Don't pay attention to those standings. They're filing their way on through here. Right now, after surviving that accident there, we do have a new hard charger. The man sitting up in the booth with me, Connor Ross, he's going to be up 6 spots. or Logan Wentz actually. He's up 6 spots as well. That just changed. He's in front of Connor, so Logan's going to steal that hard charger as of right now, it looks like. Double file. Should be thinking about going green this time by. No, nope, the lights are still on. Lights are still on. So we'll go one more time around here. They're just preemptively getting lined up because leader does have lane choice. It slips my mind. Here coming down the front stretch. Pace car, yep, turn its lights off now, and we'll be 1 to green as you see them double file up throughout the pack. I think Brian Lawson, we're going to ride on board with him here as he takes this green flag. So I want to see, maybe, you know, he sees something out there I don't see. It looked like the bottom was pretty slick, but there might be a little piece of tack. I want to see if that's what he's trying to find to fire in here, because he had a success up top. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for the top restart. As you see, yeah, he's in the slick, Does tack up a little bit right there, but not a huge benefit. But he's able to get up in front of Brandon Templeton, and that was the goal. Just clear that man in P2 and make P2 and P3 race there as Randy Shreves. He tried to take a look on Brandon Templeton, but just no luck right now, not able to get it done. Let's ride on board in the Chapman Racing drone camera right now. Randy Shreves. Just looking at him there in the middle of that white car. Seeing a little contact 3 wide. Able to save it, though. Who is that? That's Samuel Bachman, possibly the smart guy who checked up there. But he ended up losing some spots for that. Right now, all eyes on the front is Brian Lawson able to just keep pulling away. Got the gap up to half a second. Brandon Templeton is even real aggressive running that high side, but just not having any luck right now. Speed they carry in there. Really Now Connor Ross, though, up 10 spots. He's still been climbing since that last caution. Only 10 laps in, up 10 spots, up to P12. He's looking for the crossover there on the 171 of Jake Henry. Not really the crossover, but drove it in high. He's going to look to turn it down under him, and he may have had that spot at the line. That's going to be close, but now he's going to throw that slider, try to park it up in front of the 171. 171's going to look to get a run back. He's going to throw the slider now on Connor Ross. Connor's going to have to try to diamond it under, but Jake looks like he got a real good run there in 3 and 4, and he's going to hold on to it. But back up front, Brandon Templeton trying to reel in your leader, keeping that gap to about half a second. But last time by, Templeton did run a 1992, your fastest lap of the race, by a significant amount, and he's doing it on the bottom right now. So bottom 3 and 4 it looks like, top 1 and 2 he is starting to figure it out. Or no, bottom 1 and 2 as well. He's poking it up down there on the bottom. Let's ride on board with Dean Reynolds right now. He's in a battle with the 107 of Samuel Bachman and the 83 of Dylan Kinsey, looking to maybe be that meat in the sandwich, but Kinsey gets a good run off. Dean gets a good run off too, and he's going to be able to clear Samuel Bachman for P6. And now Samuel Bachman's going to think about going to the high side, but Dean shuts the door, and Samuel bumps him a little bit, gets all uncomfortable. He's going to lose a spot to Randall Dixon. Tough break for him. But Brandon Templeton, he is reeling in your leader in that 9 machine. He's looking low. Not going to be able to get it done this time by. Let's ride on board with him. You hear that thing get real quiet. He really slows it down enough to keep it on the bottom, get that good exit speed in 3 and 4, and all of a sudden he's right there at that right rear quarter panel. Now he's going to go to the high side and the left rear quarter panel. Now he's going to the high side in 1 and 2. Going to look to get that run for 3 and 4. He's so good on the bottom. Going to try to carry all that speed in there, and this is how he's got to get it done. Top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. You see he's to the door. Can he get a good run? He's right beside him at the line. Don't know who had it, but Brandon Templeton is going to throw the slider here in 1 and 2, and we've got a new leader, but Brian Lawson says, hey, man, I'm not done. I'm coming back. He's going to look for it here in 3 and 4. He's going to take Brandon's line away from him. He's going to push him up the track. Not going to lean on him, though. Going to back out, and Brandon's going to beat him to the line. We've got a new leader here with 13 laps to go. Brandon Templeton in that 31 machine. Now Michael Vitale, too. He just got the blueprint from Brandon Templeton. Can he go in there and do the same thing? Battle is on, though, for
Caution,
peace.
yellow
Oh,
flag.
no. Dean Reynolds, I believe. That's what I was just about to go to. Oh, let's go. Let's try and take a look here. He's in the bottom here, 3 and 4. Ah, that's tough there. Let's take a look at that again. Try the point. See the overview? It just looks like, yeah, maybe he just came up a little bit. It wasn't too egregious, but definitely didn't get any help there from, I believe, maybe Randall Dixon or Sam Bachman behind him, and you know they're not required to do that. They're trying to gain spots right now, and we're coming down towards the end, running out of time. They want to get every spot they can when they can, so can't really be too upset about that. But I believe the lights are still on the pace car. Let's see here. Yeah, they are. So we're gonna get to go around here one more time. Coming out of turn 3 and 4 here, I would expect the pace lights to get shut off this time, and we are in under 10 to go, which makes it a little interesting here. It should be a double file restart, I believe. Brandon Templeton, he likes that high side. He's already shown he wants to be up there. It's kind of where I thought earlier I hinted Brian Lawson. Blanking on you, Brian. I thought you were going to take the high side earlier, but you made the bottom work. But Brandon's going to go high side here and see what he can do. I think there's still a lot of tack up there left on the exit of 3 and 4. So should get a good jump, and I think it's always harder for the person on the bottom to want to look up to the right and get the car adjusted here. But going through 3 and 4, pace car should be pulling in the pits. And Brandon Templeton's going to fire. Good jump for Brandon. You see heck of a gap to second place back to Brian Lawson. Got almost 4/10 at the line, but Brian's going to make some of that back looking there on the bottom. Gets a good run in the middle of the corner. He's going to just look to follow Brandon in 3 and 4, and I think, you know, that's got to kind of be the move. You got to protect. You know that 213 of Michael Vitale is right behind you. And speaking of, he's looking for it here. He's going to throw the slider. He's going to clear it easy, and we're going to have a new driver in P2, Michael Vitale. He's going to see if he can hunt down your leader in the 31. Trouble in the back. Looks like John Morano possibly, but no caution. Just going to lose some spots. Brandon Templeton still out front, but Michael Vitale, one hiccup, and he is right there all over the back of Deacon. The caution is out. Wow, a lot of guys involved in that. Dylan Kinsey, Randall Dixon, Connor Ross, I see. Let's go take a look at this replay here. Slow it down. You see a little contact. This Connor nowhere to go. Patrick Spangler nowhere to go. Connor stuck on the wall. Oh, couldn't land on all fours. And that one's gonna hurt. Templeton, though, he might have liked that because Michael Vitale was starting to reel him in. All of a sudden here, he's going to create a new gap there on the restart. Very good battle in the front. Brian Lawson is pretty much the control car there for the opening half of the race, and Brandon Templeton midway through discovered the low line had some fire to it, and he lit that fire and used that to get by Brian. And now it looks like Michael Vitale, he used it too, but he's making that middle top work. So anxious to see what is going to be the fastest line around here. When they get the green, should have about 7 laps to go. For this restart, once we go through 3 and 4 here, we're going to take you on board with Michael Vitale. We're going to see his game plan here on the restart, see if he can get a good jump. Green flag is out.
Green flag, green flag.
Not a terrible jump from Mike. Probably would have wanted to be a little closer to that rear bumper. As you see, floats up there a little bit in 1 and 2. It's going to get good exit speed as he kind of diamonds that off. That's something Brandon's doing different. Brandon's hugging that bottom, whereas Vitale's kind of using that diamond line, doesn't have any pressure on behind him, able to kind of run on any line of his choosing, whatever's comfortable. But Brandon Templeton, I think he smelled him back there. He's going to try something different. He knows what he's doing now isn't going to work. He's going to run the high side 1 and 2. And truthfully, that didn't work too much either, as Michael Vitale is all over the back. D-Temp's got to go in protection mode here. Right now, Samuel Bachman, your new hard charger, up 10 spots up to P8. Anthony Morano also up 9 spots up to P6. He's getting it done on the bottom. Haven't talked about him all night. He needs another caution, though, if he wants to be involved in the outcome of this race. Is right now got a battle for the lead. Vitale able to look to the high side in 3 and 4. Completed it at the line, but Brandon's going to look back here. He's got to think about throwing a slider. It could be over for him. He's not going to be able to do it. Vitale's going to drive in real hard into 3 and 4. Going to look for good exit speed, but caution is out. Who is the leader is the question. Like possibly Matt Schaefer and Randy Shreves. Let's take a look at this. I'm on board right now at the 183 with Matt Schaefer. Almost got inside of Brian Lawson. Checked up. Randy Shreves with really nowhere to go. Gets in the back of him, and it's just a pile up from there. Tough break. I just realized Connor Ross here, he called it a night. I'll unmute him. And well, Connor, you were coming up through the field there, man. Tough break.
Yeah, definitely. We had a really fast car. I was able to make it work on the top side there in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I think I could have been able to the top 5. I really do, but just didn't check up in time. I didn't see the wreck happen in time, and I was up on my side there, but didn't land it on 4 wheels. But so far, this battle for the lead is shaping up as Vitale got Templeton with the slider there, and then Templeton was answering back down on the bottom. So right now, it seems like you have 2 grooves, and Templeton's running that bottom side to perfection, but you have to be perfect down there.
Yeah, and you know, with needing to be perfect down there and Vitale being so good in that middle line, I just think right now advantage Vitale. I mean, don't get me wrong, I picked Brandon to win. He was my horse. I'm rooting for him, but just seems like right now Vitale is where you want to be. Got his car where you want to be, but somebody else can't sleep on that 32. Anthony Morano up 10 spots to P5, and Gavin Chatham up 12 spots to P6. So Those guys might have something to say about this before this one.
Green,
Michael
green,
Vitale
green.
gets the green flag, and we're off. Pretty good jump by the front two, but Brian Lawson maybe caught sleeping a little bit back there in P3.
That was a really good start for Vitale, but I'm not sure if I like that line that he's running. I think Templeton's going to be able to get him on entry, does, and on exit, but Vitale does slide up to the tack, which is nice. He gets a nice drive off, but Templeton is super smooth on that bottom right now.
We had a car go around in 3 and 4, Jake Henry, but no caution. He's going to pull it into the pits as we're back up front. Michael Vitale looks to try and check out over Brandon Templeton. Brandon Templeton seems to gain him about a tenth and a half in 3 and 4, but Michael Vitale makes his money over here in 1 and 2. He's just floating up. And as soon as I say that, Brandon tries it too, and seems like may reeled him in a little bit.
Brandon just needs one good run on exit to get in line for a slider here, and he's going to have to pull it here into 1 or wait till 3, but
we're coming up white
it's going to be
flag
close.
Here. He's got to get it done this time by, as we're not going to leave this battle for first place. Brandon Templeton's going to try to get a run off the bottom in 1 and 2. Doesn't look like he's gonna. Vitale's got to protect here, but he leaves the door open. Kind of surprising to see him leave the door open. But if Brandon's not going to be able to get a run, as Michael Vitale's going to be your 358 modified winner tonight, followed by Brandon Templeton, Anthony Morano able to get up to the top 3, the last step of the podium. Brian Lawson, Gavin Chatham, your hard charger, up 13 spots, going to finish P5. Samuel Bachman, Trent Verstraeten, Sean Akins, Jeff Barker, and Randy Shreves rounds out your top 10. Followed by Tyler Flynn in the 831, John Morano in the 033, Glenn Sharp in the 099, Dylan Kinsey, Jason Butterfield P15. Rounding out the field, Dean Reynolds, Matt Schaefer, Kyle Fahey, Jake Henry, Logan Wentz, Connor Ross, Patrick Spengler, Randall Dixon, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dicker. Well, we'll give these guys a quick chance to get up in the booth.
Okay.
Just waiting on Anthony Morano here to make his way on up into the booth, but if not, maybe we'll start with the leader. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do things a little different tonight. Didn't see Anthony Morano up there yet, so we're gonna start off with your winner tonight here, Michael Vitale. Man, what a show! Where'd you come from?
I just started feeling the track out a little bit, and I just found a groove that worked for me, and I just stayed patient. I really did stay patient, waited to make the moves, made it to make the sliders, and yeah, I surprised myself too.
Yeah, man. No sleeping on Brandon Templeton. He was my pick to win tonight. We all know how good guys like he and Anthony Morano can be, but man, you just proved, Michael, you can be better. You found a line in 1 and 2 that nobody else was really running. You were being real aggressive on that slider line, and it seemed like that's where you were making up all your time. Do you think so?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was just telling Brandon, and while we were waiting in the room there, that I usually don't run sliders. I'm not really that well at them, and I've been practicing a little bit here and there, and it worked out.
Yeah, man. Well, you can tell you've been practicing, and man, it paid off. Heck of a run tonight. Congratulations on the win, Mike. You got anybody?
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I want to thank everybody back at the Vitale Motorsports, Billy Roberts for spotting me there over at Gears Unlimited, my teammates Randy, Jake, Nick, Eli, and you guys for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast for giving us the place to run week in and week out.
Well, congratulations, Mike, and hopefully I see you back up here again one Monday, man.
All righty, buddy. Thank you.
That's Michael Vitale, your P2 finisher. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Brandon Templeton so Connor Ross can get a word with him.
Well, Brandon, you got a copy on us up here in the booth?
Yep, I got you.
You had a strong night here. Tell us what you could have done differently to maybe win tonight.
I don't know. Michael ran a really good race there. He was coming, making a little bit quicker times than me for a few laps at least before he finally got there and made the move. And I kind of tried to anticipate his slide job or his move into turn 3 there, and I kind of let off and started to cut down for a real good exit on 4, and I hit his fender a little bit. So if it looked like he threw me a fender or something, that was at least 50-60% me coming down on him. So I was kind of trying to cheat the slider there and get back on him, but that was a lot of fun. Anytime you can throw sliders and trade the lead, you're going to have a lot of fun racing.
No, you definitely put on a great show for us to talk about up here in the booth. That was an amazing run between you two. Anybody you got to thank?
I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank in Malvern, Iowa, everything they're doing for real racing with the super late model racing around the Midwest here. And I know they've got several other series. They started a 360 series here in the Midwest that's coming to my home track for the first time this year. So that's going to be cool to check out. And it's nice to see it pay off, when you're working with a sponsor and you do a lot with them, and then pretty soon it pays off and you have races showing up with their name on it in your hometown. That's kind of nice. So thanks to them, Got Your Six Racing Network, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Hogan Lawn Care, everybody watching at home, you guys for putting on an awesome stream that's fun to watch back, and everybody that helps with the league. Thanks.
Well, he hope to see you in the sprint car once race. Thanks for talking to us.
Yep, thanks.
Now we'll go ahead and bring up Anthony Morano, your P3 finisher. Anthony, Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
What's up, Shaggy?
Well, dude, if I'm being honest, I gave you credit on the broadcast. Dude, I did not sit on you much tonight. Where did you come from, Anthony? You're the only guy I know who, it doesn't matter if you start 24th, you still find your way to the bottom step, man.
That was a workout, man. No joke. That was that was a lot of work to get through there. Definitely was not easy trying to just pick and choose spots and look for little openings anywhere and hope to get through it all.
Well, I mean, you survived all the wrecks. We saw you have to creep by on the bottom sometimes. And, early in the race, I saw you be smart and lift out of a 3-wide situation. And it just goes to your credit. That's why you finish in P3 every week, man, or better. You're just such a smart guy out there, and it shows.
I appreciate it. Yeah, just, I know one thing for sure is that trying to keep the car as clean as possible helps you a lot in points at the end of the season. But coming through the back, it's really not that easy of a thing to do. I think I got 6X tonight, so. But, staying up here in the top 3 all season so far, so yeah, I can't go wrong with that.
No, and Samuel Bachman finishing behind you. You should improve that point lead. So you'll extend. I think you were at 73 points. You're going to extend that a little bit. So you may be able to take 2 weeks off, bud.
Yeah, a little R&R never goes the wrong way, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, this season's really working out pretty good for me here in Coast to Coast. Nailing top 5s in pretty much all 4 divisions I'm running, so I can't go wrong there.
No, man. Well, congratulations, Anthony, with another podium this season. 7 for 7 on top 5s. Congratulations. That's pretty unbelievable, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, my teammates at Full Throttle Motorsports, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop for these setups, man. They're just rails. Extra Insulation, GripHack.com, DJ Sim Shop, MDI TV. You guys served in the broadcast. I'm running Coast to Coast.
Well, Anthony, congratulations once again on the P3, man, and hopefully I talk to you next week, or I guess you're going to be running some Super Dirt Car week, aren't you, here tomorrow?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, odds are I'm doing tomorrow night, so odds are I'll be talking to you again with the way you know how to drive these things. So good luck, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it.
That's Anthony Morano, your P3 finisher, and we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with some Rebels action here at the sprint cars at Knoxville Speedway. So stick around and stay with us.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get tonight when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
And we're back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Here is Shaggy. He's here alongside Connor Ross. Connor Ross is going to be out there qualifying now, so we'll hear from him in a little bit. But, you know, we'll take a look at Trent Verstraeten. He's one of the first cars onto the track this evening for Rebels qualifying. Trent Verstraeten is always one of the cars to beat here. I just realized, you know, Marty and I, we do... We've had a bounty on Ross, but he's not here tonight, so the bounty will have to carry over until next week, I just realized. So that's new news. Right now, Brandon Dittmer, first car with a lap in. He's at a 16:64. Connor Ross with the pole right now at a 16:21. He's your quick man. Let's follow him through 3 and 4. Looking to keep that thing as straight as he can, looking to get a good bite off the corner. And is he faster this time by? No, he is not. Slower on the second lap with a 16:53, but still your current pole sitter. Right now, Gavin Chatham on P2 coming out of turn 4 for the final time. Is he going to be faster this time? Yes, he is. He's going to run a 16:21 as well, but Connor Ross is still going to have him edged out. And that is going to be your qualifying. Connor Ross on the pole, Gavin Chatham P2, Kevin Fry P3, Talon Ulibarri P4, Trent Verstraeten rounding out the top 5. It's going to be your qualifying points. Looks like we have 19 cars tonight, so everybody will make the show. Oh, we see Brady Floyd giving us a nice view. He didn't get to complete qualifying. He's sitting on the side. He's right rear. His rear tires are still spinning. Hopefully Brady and the boys can get that thing fixed up here, but looks like we're not going to hear from Connor. Well, I mean, we will hear from him here real quick, but Connor Ross,
I'm sorry
pole
about that.
setter, yeah, he's going to be in Heat 1. So let's run off the grid here real quick. Starting on the pole is going to be the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds. It is outside the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. The inside of row number 2 is going to be Talon Ulibarri, and the 19 is outside Daddy's Money, Connor Ross in the 35. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 9 of Brian Lawson. It is outside the 94 of Gary Offit. Rounding out the field is going to be the 52 of Zach Neubauer. Well, Connor, the car looked quick, I guess, in qualifying.
It definitely was. I was able to. I'll give out my qualifying secret now. The first lap I wanted to get a good run into 1, and I realized if you ran it just above the slick and diamond off. That gave you a great run, and then just stuck it on the bottom in 3 and 4. And I heard you talking in my ear for the second lap, and that wasn't what messed me up. I realized I went P1 and I screwed turn 1 up, so I kind of just shut it off and was paying attention more to what you were saying. But no, this is going to be a good heat race. My Gambler teammate in front of me, so hopefully we can, finish 1-2.
Yep, be safe. Get her done, kid. Oh, that was Connor. He's rolling off P4 here, and as he said, his teammate Jeffrey Kemper in front of him. So we'll have to see what happens here. Kemper, it looks like he got a pretty good restart up until he hit the slick there in the middle. Dino's going to try to maybe shut the door, but not going to be able to. Big run for Jeff Kemper. Dean still down there on the bottom trying to fight back. Not going to go away easy. Dean's won a couple of these heat races in the past couple weeks. Been very good on the fresh track, and he's trying to show it now. It's a little sideways. Jeff Kemper's going to keep it up there on the outside. Right now they're going to be side by side coming out of 4. Not sure who's the man at the line. Wow, that's some good racing. Real tight. And Kemper's going to get in the wall a little bit. That's going to open the door for Dean Reynolds and his teammate Connor Ross. But Connor's going to keep it down there, not going to be able to get anything done. Just going to try to fight back on the high side here with, they're almost halfway. They're on lap number 4. Jeff Kemper, oh, Connor's going to get into Dino a little bit. Not too sure if Dino maybe got into Kemper, what happened there, but it's going to hurt Connor. Connor's going to fall back to P6, and Jeff Kemper, he's just going to say thanks, guys, and he's off to the races. Got a 1.1 second lead over Gary Offit and Talon Ulibarri now, as Brian Lawson, the big beneficiary, going to move up to P4 here. Dino, he's struggling, no front wing on that thing. He's just going to be lucky to nurse it home here as we're at 3 to go. Jeff Kemper, though, no chill, getting real close to the wall coming out of turn 2. He's still being aggressive, trying to make that thing go as quick as it can. Coming to 2 to go this time by. Looks like Dino's just going to keep trying to nurse it around back there. He's going to be able to come home with P5, and that's going to be big for the B main. Going to be able to start first in the front row of the B main, but the checkered flag is out, and Jeffrey Kemper is going to be heat race number 1 winner. He will start on the pole tonight, followed by Gary Offit, Talon Ulibarri, Brian Lawson. Oh wait, no, they're on the final lap. I don't know how to read. I did it too early. Could have sworn I seen a checkered. Well, it stands the same as I said. Jeff Kemper, Gary Offit, Talon Ulibarri, Brian Lawson in your final transfer spot, but they did have to make me double take it. So we'll go ahead and get Connor Ross unmuted. Tough break there. Just looked like maybe floated up a little bit and got into Dean a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were too wide or not. I didn't want to make that aggressive of a move, but I felt like I was faster and I was able to get a good run, and it's tough to tell with that sideboard on the wing. You can't see much out of the right side. And right as I got to Dean there, I could tell we were 3 wide, because when I came up a little bit, he gave Jeff some room. I just watched back the replay, so that was all on me, just being aggressive. So sorry, Diener, if you're watching, I owe you a few beverages.
Well, I think he knows stuff happens, and apologies go a long way. But right now we'll read off the grid here. We got the Spider Monkey Brandon Dittmer on the front row. To his outside we have the 26 of J.J. Odell. Inside of row number 3 we have the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. To his outside the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Inside of row number 3 we have the 53 of Brady Floyd. And rounding out the field tonight, the 4 of Greg Parmalee. Here's the pace car, pulls into the pits. We'll get ready to drop the hammer here for heat race number 2, as it looks like Odell almost was in front a little too early there on Brandon Dittmer, but he's able to check up, get back in time, no harm, no foul.
Watch out for Chatham. He's going to be fast up on top, and he's just going to let the first lap kind of unfoil itself. He's in 3rd, but no, he was 2nd in qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. He is always one to watch out for in this division.
Yeah, Gavin Chatham very fast right now. He's got to find any way around J.J. Odell, because every lap Brandon Dittmer gets to be out front. He gets to extend that lead. We know he's one of the best at running that high side, and when he can just hammer down, let it eat, he is going to be a tough guy to catch.
No, 100%. Dittmer's always fast wherever we go. He was really fast at Williams Grove when he passed me. But, no, just watching Chatham, he gets a great run off of 2, but I think that's J.J. Odell there in the second spot. He runs a slider line in 3 and 4, so there's nothing Chatham can do. He can't get a good run and throw a slider because that's, or else you'll right rear him. So he's kind of just got to pick his spot, choose it, and go for it.
Yeah, and he's trying to make it work on the bottom. You see, just entering in over that slick, I just not going to have much luck doing that right now. And as you say, J.J. Odell's running that slider. He can go up there and find that tackle to really let it eat on corner exit. It's going to be a tough guy to get around. But if there's a guy who can do it, it's Gavin Chatham.
No, 100%. He's got to make his move in 1. That's got to be his spot. But the track seems to be widening up a lot. As you've seen Dittmer a few laps, he caught that right rear off the wall, and JJ and both Gaddam are both up top there on that cushion. So the track seems to be widening out here for this second heat race, the late stages of it.
Yeah, coming out of turn 4 here, should be getting a white flag this time by Brandon Dittmer all over the wall in the middle of 3 and 4, running right up against that cushion. He's really trying to build it up. That thing tightens up on him. He drives in so hard. But entering 3 should be an easy win for Brandon Dittmer if he can keep it out of the wall, and he does. He's going to look to carry this momentum. He's going to start on the front row for the feature tonight. Brandon Dittmer, heat race number 2 winner, followed by J.J. Odell, Gavin Chatham, Trent Verstraeten, Greg Parmalee, and Brady Ford. Pretty good heat race, but like you said, the track's starting to expand out. We saw guys spread out because they can start to run different lines, but I imagine towards the feature, they're going to want to be up top. Unless you maybe set your car up for the bottom like Blake Chapman always does.
I love running the bottom here. It comes into play, and it is fast.
Well, you heard it from somebody who knows how to drive these things better than me. He thinks the bottom's going to come back in, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But go ahead and give you your starting grid here for heat race number 3. We got the 29 of Steven Stewart on the front on the pole. This is outside the 16 of Kyle Fahey. Inside of row number 2, we got the 62 of Bryce Odell. This is outside the 21 of the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. The inside of row number 3, Andy Patton. And rounding out the field is going to be the 8 and 31 of Tyler Flynn. Pace truck should be pulling in here as Steven Stewart looks to bring him to the green flag.
Green flag,
Kyle
green
Fahey
flag.
hanging back a little bit. Let's see. Maybe that's going to bite him. He's not going to be able to pressure Stewart in the turns 1 and 2 here, and that opens the door for Bryce Odell to maybe think about making a pass on the bottom, but it's going to go away, I think. But going to think about throwing the slider, but man, Fahey's still there, but he needs to burp out of the throttle to save it.
I'm watching Kevin Fry here. He's always fast, and right as I say that, he makes contact with, I think that was Fahey. Yes, it was, but Kevin Fry is always fast. And I think if he can get the top side going, he might be able to have something for the top 2 here.
Yeah, already up to P3, Kevin Fry, so we'll have to see if he can go hunting on these front 2, but Steven Stewart able to work out a little bit of a gap, got it up to 3/10. Was the fastest car last time around, but Bryce Odell looks like he maybe found something in 3 and 4. He's going to cut that gap down.
Now Bryce has definitely found something in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, they both look pretty even, but the last few laps, Bryce Odell has been running that slide job, has been getting super close to Steven.
Yeah, he's cut that gap down now. He ran the fastest lap on the track last time, a 16:88. Still faster than the leader last time, but a 16:96 to a 16:97, almost identical. So he wants to get that pass done. He's going to have to figure something else out. And he messed up real bad there in 1 and 2, Connor.
I was going to say, he lost some grip trying to throw that slide job and got caught in the slick on exit, and that might have been the heat race for him.
P3 between Tyler Flynn and Kevin Fry. Tyler Flynn able to go around the high side of Kevin Fry. We may be seeing that high side start to come in as he's pretty dedicated to it.
No, he definitely is, as Kevin Fry throws a slider here in 1 and 2, and he takes back the 3 spot.
Yeah, look looked like he drove in there maybe a little too hard, got into the wall, and Kevin Fry able to secure the pass here. But coming out of turns 3 and 4, we're going to get the white flag this time by.
Fry has found something on the bottom in 3 and 4. He was catching a Bryce O'Dell there, and I was watching him in 3 and 4. He ran that line to perfection. He got a nice gap, but just not anything. Can't do anything. Too late in the heat race.
Yeah, Steven Stewart, he's going to carry it on, and Bryce O'Dell is going to be your second place finisher. But Kevin Fry, man, he made it interesting. Going to finish P3. Tyler Finn, your P4 finisher. Andy Patton, P5, and Kyle Fahey going to come home in P6. We're going to go to warm-ups here, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you here in a couple minutes on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Monday Night Madness brought to you by Ashweekon Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Here's take a look at the warm-up charts. Gavin Chatham in that 99. We got the 35 car warning about. He's at the top of the charts. He's really quick right now. Kevin Fry going to be P2. Kyle Fahey. Once again, thank you to Ashweekon Speedway for sponsoring Monday Night Madness. Couldn't do it without all the great sponsors out there. Here at Coast to Coast, we really appreciate all the help, and we love being able to put on a good show for you every Monday night. So let's go ahead and let's get this starting grid order here for you. Starting on the pole is going to be the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper to his outside, the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 29 of Steven Stewart to his outside, the 94 of Gary Offit. Inside of row number 3 is going to be J.J. Odell to his outside, Bryce O'Dell, guessing some sort of relation there. So rooting for the Odell family here today in row number 3. Talon Yolabari is going to come off inside of row number 4, P7. Gavin Chatham to his outside. Kevin Fry is going to start 9th. Brian Lawson is going to come a roll off P10. Trent Verstraeten P11. Tyler Flynn P12. Dean Reynolds in the Baker Dozen spot. And beside him is going to be Greg Parmalee in the 4, rolling off 14th. Andy Patton in the 87 is going to roll off P15 to his outside. In the 52 is going to be Zachary Neubauer. Inside of row number 9 is going to be the 53 of Brady Floyd to his outside, Kyle Fahey in the 16, and rounding out the field tonight is going to be the man up in the booth here with us, Connor Ross. So, Connor, we got Gambler teammates starting on opposite ends of the field. We got Jeff up front, you in the back. How are we going to get to the front, man?
This is a really good field. It's a B division, but the amount of cars that could race in the A and win it it's amazing. So I just got to keep my nose clean. I know I have a good setup here, and just got to keep my nose clean. I hope my Gambler teammate keeps it up there, and I hope I can meet him there at the end.
Alrighty, man. Real quick before I throw you on mute, who you got for this win?
I have to go with my teammate Jeff Kemper. He's made a lot of improvements and a lot of strides this year, and I'm proud to see him up there. And I know he can. I know he's got it.
All right, kid. Good luck. Hopefully, I'm interviewing you here.
Thank you.
That's Connor Ross in the 35 machine, but right now we're all focused on that 181, the pole sitter. Him and Brandon Dittmer on the front row. They're going to lead us here to the green as the pace truck is rolling through 3 and 4. He's pulling off, and as soon as that green comes out, we're going to go play in the clay, ladies and gentlemen. As green flag is out, and good start from the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. He's going to look to try to scoot that machine up in front of the 83 of Brandon Dittmer, and that's not going to work. Brandon Dittmer is going to have him cleared at the end of the backstretch, and he's going to look to take over this spot as the line, but Jeff Kemper's going to fight back on the inside, but Brandon Dittmer's your new leader, going to lead lap number 1. Now Gavin Chatham already up 4 spots up to 4th. He is making that bottom work. He is hunting in 3 and 4. Going to go from 4th to 2nd in 1 turn. Here he comes, and he's running the bottom. Gavin Chatham with a 16.97 last lap, your quickest car on the track. He is making it work on the bottom. Brandon Dittmer, if he looks to his left, he's going to see that 99 machine here in the middle of 1 and 2. Gavin's going to keep it on the bottom. Brandon's going to try to roll that top. He's going to get a good run here. He's going to be able to clear him, but here's where Gavin makes the money there in 3 and 4. Really gets a good hook up on the bottom, and he's going to beat him in the line. Gavin's going to be your leader at lap number 5. 8th to 1st in 5 laps. 4 laps, ladies and gentlemen. What a run from Gavin Chatham so far. Obviously, he is your hard charger, but let's go back here through the field a little bit. Ooh, caution is out. Looks like possibly Kyle Fahey. Let's take a look at this. Kyle Fahey in the number 16 machine is going to be in that blue and white sprint car. Going to get a little loose there. Going to come down, get into Trent for straight, and just going to eat the wall. And wow, he's going to barrel roll. No help to flip over either, so he's going to have to tow that. Ladies and gentlemen, it likes to do this to me sometimes where I want to click it live, but it's not going to go away. So you get to see the iRacing behind the scenes here. Let's fast forward this. And now, yeah, we're going to be ready to roll. Hopefully that didn't happen all night in all the other races. So maybe we'll do a quick SDK reset after this one before I come back to you guys. Hopefully the problems should be all fixed, but right now I'll tell you who doesn't care about the problems I have, that 99 machine, because he is a rocket ship on that bottom line. And see, he's going to pick the bottom here on the restart. Looks like pace lights are still on, but he's going to preemptively show that he wants the bottom here. Happened to look at the broadcast. I'm seeing, I think the Odells are a father-son combination. So how cool is that? I know every now and then I used to run in here. I used to get to race with my dad, and that was always a lot of fun. So I know how much that father-son bond can be, and how much enjoyment that can bring out there on the track. So cool for you guys.
Green, green, green.
Right now, we're off. Gavin Chatham with an excellent jump there, able to really put Brandon Dittmer in the dust, as Brandon's going to just have to try to hold on to second. But battle is on here for third and fourth place. And we're 3 wide right now for P3. As Kevin Fry is going to be on the bottom, and he's going to come out victorious right now at the line. He's going to be on that bottom step of the podium. Jeff Kemper's going to keep the top, and Steven Stewart's going to try to follow Kevin Fry on the bottom, but no luck. Jeff Kemper's going to put up a fight up there on the outside. Still your hard charger, though. Really starting to gap the field out front. Gavin Chatham's got Brandon Dittmer up to almost 3/4 of a second gap here. So Brandon was not taking it easy either. He's running the high side in 1 and 2, so that's going to make that right rear tire struggle, you think, compared to Gavin in the later laps. Gavin is really running good. As you see, Dittmer there going to get in the wall a little bit. That's going to make that gap out front now 1.5 seconds. So goodbye, Gavin Chatham. Kevin Fry, though, he's starting to come up on Brandon Dittmer here for P2. He's going to sniff that bottom. He's going to get a good run coming out of 2. Going to think about maybe parking it on the nose of that 83, but the caution is going to be out before he's going to be able to get it, as it looks like Greg Parmalee and possibly Andy Patton in an accident here. Right on before Greg Parmalee's just going to get some help from behind. Dean Reynolds and Andy Patton nowhere to go, so tough break for those two. Not much either one of them could have done. Here we go. Yeah, so these replays are going to doom us here in this race. Every time we get a replay, I got to go back to live and then make this disappear. But we're going to figure it out. Back up front though, Greg Parmalee up 7 spots. Still your current hard charger. That'd be quite the move for him. Up 7 spots in 4 laps. Still holding it down, as he's got to be the car to beat right now. Very, very fast. Only other car right now, looking at the lap times, only car with a lap time here in the feature of in the 16-second brackets. He's got a little more speed than everybody else. Right now, you definitely got to keep an eye on that man in P3. He was rolling up the field pretty quick too, and he had just made a move on the bottom, trying to get that second place position from the Spider Monkey. So if he can look to the bottom here, he's got to try to capitalize, get second real quick here while he can. But pace truck is off, and Gavin Chatham, it'll be on him to fire. He gets a good jump. Brandon Dittmer able to get down in front of the 21 of Kevin Fry, and that's all he was trying to do there. But he's going to float up a little bit, not really going to be able to hold the bottom. But look out, look up top, Steven Stewart coming out of nowhere. Big run on the high side in 1 and 2. Going to get a little sideways in the middle of 3 and 4, though. He's going to lose all that momentum. Jeff Kemper now trying to hold on to P4. He was the meat in the sandwich of Steven Stewart. Big runs on the high side of 1 and 2. We saw it last lap, and he gets it again. Kevin Fry, though, it looks like he is going to take P2 away here at the line. Do have a new person there in second, but Brandon Dittmer running in real hard, gets in the wall, hammered down. You see that thing almost pull a wheelie coming out of the wall. When in doubt, throttle out, and he kept the pedal to the metal. Gavin Chatham, though, see ya. 2.4 second lead, now 2.5. He is gone. You look at that gap. Got almost a whole straightaway. Did that in about 4 laps. So that shows you the horses that machine has right now. Just look at the gap. Go back through the field here. Let's ride on board with Zach Neubauer. He's up 4 spots right now. The P12. And oh, how didn't I see this? The man in the booth here, Connor Ross, up to P7, making the high side work. Coming up behind his teammate there. He's looking up high. Thought about making it 3 wide, but got the bumper thrown to him by Talon Yulabari. But he's going to cross under Odell. He's going to make it 3 wide. Odell's going to try to shut the door, but Connor's there. Not sure if he knew the 35 was there. Connor's going to get that good run there going down the front stretch. He's going to hold it down there. Still got Odell up top. I think the high side is where you want to be in 1 and 2, but he's trying to defy the odds down there. Connor up 12 spots if he can complete this this pass on Odell. Odell looked to be a little loose, and now he's got Gary Offit looking to go by him there in the 94. Gary Offit real quick on the bottom of 1 and 2. Does a good job of driving that thing in slow and keeping it down on that little sliver attack. Very impressive from Gary Offit. Back out front though, Gavin Chatham. Oh my gosh. He has doubled that lead, ladies and gentlemen, to when we last saw him 3 laps ago. 5.1 seconds. Oh man. Gavin might go in there and add some fuel. Oh, as you saw, who was that? Somebody flipping in front of your leader. Was that Greg Parmalee? Yeah, he's sitting still on the bottom. No caution though, still sitting there. Might want to tow that. There he goes, he tows it. Not getting any favors from the officials tonight. Right now, Brandon Dittmer seems to be your closest battle on track. He's trying to catch Steven Stewart and Kevin Fry. Connor Ross, meanwhile, your hard charger, going to look to the high side of Talon Yulabari. Wow, that thing was shot out of a cannon. Look to the high side of his teammate, but caution is going to come out, so he's going to have to give that back. Looks like Zach Neubauer possibly in an accident. He's in the 52 machine. Let's check this out here. Oh, maybe got a little loose and came down into Trent, or maybe Trent floated up into him. Let's get a different view of this. Let's find Trent. See if we can ride on board in the cockpit. Just looked like, he was floating up and didn't know anybody was there. Tough break here. Story has been Gavin Chatham. Nobody right now has even been in his lead. He's built that up to about 6.5 seconds before that caution came out. So they're going to restart single file, which is another good advantage for him. Doesn't have to worry about being pinched down on the start or anything like that. He'll control the pace, I imagine. If you put enough fuel in that thing and plan for it to go green this long, he should have this thing easy. But Connor Ross right now, he's your hard charger, up 13 spots, 19th to 6th. Have to see if maybe he can fight to get on that bottom step of the podium. Here's we come out of turn 4. Pace truck should be pulling in the pits this time, and Gavin Chatham will lead him here to the green. Looked like Kevin tried to go a little early, and Gavin waited for that, let him jump, made him slam on the brakes, and then he knew it was time to go. And he's already got it up to a second gap, ladies and gentlemen. Almost laughable, kind of a second gap, 1 corner. He's just been on the rails. He's hugging the bottom there in 3 and 4, not coming up off, and he is just so quick. But wow, Connor Ross able to get 2 passes done that lap. Going to go from 6th to 4th. But Brandon Dittmers, he's going to try to fight back on the bottom as Connor Ross is going to hold it up high. Looks to be a little quicker than the 29 of Steven Stewart, but Steven's doing a good job of holding that and taking the preferred line away. But Brandon Dittmer is saying slide up in front of Connor. Connor gets a little loose there. Meanwhile, P2, Kevin Fry, not letting Gavin walk as much as he did the last time, but Gavin's got that lead up to about 1.8 seconds. So Gavin is definitely not turned off the power button. He is still going hard and going strong.
Caution, yellow flag.
So we've got another caution. Wow. Not sure if it's maybe for Trent Verstraeten here. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe going over there. So let's see if we can. Let's see if this was maybe it. Gary off. This was another thing that popped up. Oh, definitely our caution. Wow. Oh, hard hit for Gary Offit. So we found the caution. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Should, when we get the green here, be down to 5 to go. Big story, though. A lot of big movers. Got Gavin Chatham and Kevin Fry both up 7 spots. Connor Ross, double that. Up 14, up to P5. 19th to 5th. Dean Reynolds up 4 spots. Brady Floyd up 5. Tough break for Gary Offit there. Being in that accident, he's going to be down 12 spots now after that, so that's a real tough break for him. He was having a good run. But the whistle here real quick as the lights are off on the pace truck as they're rolling through 3 and 4. Should be going green this time by. Expect nothing different from that man up front in the 99. He's been a missile. Excellent job controlling the restarts, waiting for people to jump. And,
Green flag.
Kevin Fry with a great restart there that time. Able to really hang on the back of Gavin. Not sure that it's really going to matter. Is Gavin's going to float up there, get a big run out of 1 and 2. Already has a gap up there over half a second. We do have a battle on for P2 and P3 is Steven Stewart and Brandon Dittmer going at it. Brandon Dittmer looking under. The 29 is Steven Stewart just trying to get it done. Gets the job done in the middle of the corner, but can he carry enough speed to complete it? The answer is yes. In 3 and 4, he's going to complete it. New bottom step of the podium. Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Steven Stewart, though, he's going to try to fight back here on the bottom. Going to look to do the same thing the Spider Monkey did to him. He's going to try to float it up, but Brandon's there. Can't complete the slider. He does complete the pass at the line here as we've got the white flag out front all by himself. Gavin Chatham going through 1 and 2. Entering 3 and 4. He's going to have this one locked up. Kevin Fry in P2, it's looking like. But coming across the start-finish line, Gavin Chatham is going to be your feature winner, followed by Kevin Fry, Brandon Dittmer, Steven Stewart, and your hard charger this evening, Connor Ross in the 35. Going to bring home P5. Jeffrey Kemper in the 181, P6. Bryce Odell, P7 in the 62. Dean Reynolds, P8. Tyler Flynn, P9. Brian Lawson, going to round out the top 10 tonight. Let's go ahead and let's get Connor unmuted here. He had quite the eventful race. Hey, Connor, you got a copy, man? 19th to 5th, not a bad show.
No, not bad at all. I got to check my pulse after that one, man. Even though it's a sim or some people call it a video game, man, that was a fun one.
Yeah, definitely an eventful last couple laps there after that restart, that's for sure. But looked like you did a good job moving your way up through the field.
Yeah, setup was perfect. I forgot to change the gear. So I was wondering why I was spinning the tires so damn much, but figured it out. I also got to say sorry to Jeff Kemper.
Uh-oh, little team problem sounds like. But all in all, a good race, and we're going to see if we can't get these guys up in the booth here. It looks like they're waiting. Hey, Brandon, Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, all in all, man, pretty good run. Able to finish on that bottom step of the podium. It seemed like there in the middle of the race, top line kind of went away from you, but then you went back to the bottom and found something.
Yeah, I was struggling on the top side of 3 and 4. Then freaking Gavin Chatham blew by me on the bottom. I was like, well, crap. I guess I better go somewhere where it might work. And luckily, I stayed up front there for most of the race. I thought I kind of messed myself up, and I got back there to 4th, and my car just felt about as loose as could be. I thought my right rear was about gone. And it felt like that about halfway through the race, so luckily I held on.
Yeah, I mentioned that because I noticed how hard you were going up top early, and I was like, I wonder how much rear tire he's gonna have left over the broadcast because you were definitely making that thing eat, man. You were real quick there, and all in all, dude, P3 can't really complain. So you got anybody you want to thank?
You guys for the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast, Training Wheels Racing, Speed Factory for the setup, and Ross, we missed you, buddy. It wasn't the same without you here. Ross, you better come back next week. We want that bounty on that board.
Yeah, that's something I brought up too. I kind of forgot about the bounty till I was looking through and realized he wasn't here, and I was like, wow. But winning all those races, I guess he deserved a race off, right?
I figured he wanted to keep that stuff going, man. After the
Yeah.
dominant performance that he put on last week, man, I figured he wanted to roll that right into Knoxville.
Yep, I'm sure he'll be back with a vengeance though next week, and maybe you can try to bust that bounty, Brandon.
I'll try my best.
Well, that's Brandon, your P3 finisher here. We're gonna go ahead and bring up P2, the Flying Fry. Let you get a word with him, Connor.
Well, Kevin P2 tonight here at Knoxville. What could you have done differently to get past Chatham? Gavin had a rocket ship of a race car, but is there anything you could do differently behind the wheel to maybe get him with those last few cautions?
No, I don't think so. He was pretty much in his own little world and he was gone. So I was just holding the bottom and, trying different things in 1 and 2 because it seemed like 1 and 2 was kind of slowing down a little bit for me. I felt like. But yeah, I just didn't have anything for Gavin at all. He was just in his own world and he was gone.
No, yeah. Would have been a spectacular race between you two, but Gavin just had a bit better of a car. Anyone you got to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my team, Dirty South Sim Racing. Appreciate those guys. Appreciate you guys putting us on and making us look good on the old interweb, and Marzoff Inc., Twisted Tech. Appreciate those guys coming on board again this year, and hopefully we'll see you next week in the Winter Circle.
Yeah, hopefully. Congrats on the run tonight, and hope to see you in the next race. Good luck, Kevin.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and now we'll bring up the man of the hour. Gavin, I don't even know what to say. I don't know if I've ever seen someone dominate a race like that. How'd you do it?
Just being really smooth and patient on the throttle. I ran probably a lot of officials this week for Knoxville and learning stuff and figuring out the lines and stuff like that. And honestly, in that warm up session, we went out there and I wanted to be on the bottom. I kind of figured everybody was going to be fighting for the top, and I wanted to be on the bottom. And I went out there and set the quickest lap. I'm like, all right, the track's on the bottom faster than I anticipated. I didn't think the bottom 1 and 2 would be there. But I figured the 3 and 4 eventually later in the race, but it was actually sooner, and I just never let up the bottom in 3 and 4, and kind of changed a little bit 1 and 2. I was running the bottom, then kind of like a slider line, but just being smooth and consistent, being patient with the throttle because these things are just totally different to drive now since the update, and wing position as well is come into a huge factor and making sure that your wing's at the right angle during the race and moving it backwards and forwards or whatever you need to do to make sure the car's right.
Yeah, you're the first person out of all, I think, 7 weeks of this to bring that up, and that's always a thought I've had in my head. Have you liked how Coast to Coast is kind of following the iRacing official schedules this season?
I do. It gives us track time. Going out there and getting some practice during the week, and then that helps out a lot. So I like it, and it gets everybody with setup wise ready for the race. I think it makes for better racing. Everyone's a little bit more prepared, which in theory should make the racing better. I like it, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you. It's something I've really appreciated from not only just getting track time, but I don't know about you, Gavin, but I'm one of those guys, man. I gotta buy my setups from a setup shop. I don't know how to set these things up, so it's really nice when I got to practice the setup all week and then get to run it. So I think you hit the nail right on the head there. And then we've seen this season, man. It's just it's promoted better racing. So congratulations on your win here, Gavin. You got anybody you want to thank?
Thanks, Zach. I just want to thank you guys for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing, everybody behind the scenes, all the sponsors, everybody who helps put this league on and let us come out here and race. We all appreciate that. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, and Miller Time Motorsports. Thank you all the sponsors. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races and supporting this league. And I say it all the time. I really hope we put on a good show for you all. Week in and week out, and I hope you all enjoy the racing, and I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me.
Well, congratulations, Gavin. You were quick tonight, man, and hopefully we see you in this A race.
Sounds good, Zach. Thank you.
All right, that's Gavin Chatham, your winner here tonight, and wow, man, Connor, he dominated that thing.
No, 100%. He was the car to beat. I wasn't able to watch, obviously, but I was listening in. You said he had a 3 to 5 second gap or something stupidly
he built that
big.
Thing to 6.5 seconds at one point in time before the 2 cautions to go. It was wild.
That is crazy, especially over Kevin Fry, who is super fast in this league, and same with Steven Stewart. The amount of guys that are super fast in this league, and he was able to do it. I kind of wish Ross DePass was here. I wish Ross is fast, so that would have been an amazing race between them two, but hey, who knows? Gavin could have done that to him as well.
Yeah, that's 2 people now begging for you, Karina. You got to get your butt back here this next week. People want that bounty. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back with some racing here right after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
And we're back live here on Monday Night Madness, brought to you by Osh Weekend Motor Speedway. And let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. You know, I didn't talk about it last race. Ross had Corinna. That was the story. He had won every race. Easy points lead in that B series. Renegades here, little different story. My brother from another mother who has the same last name as me, Blake Chapman, right now. He's your current points leader. He's won 3 races this season, 3 out of the 6. He's got 449 total points, and right now the man in second place is that man in the 39 machine, Patrick Spangler. He's got 1 win this season. He's at 421 points. Hasn't necessarily gotten the wins that Blake has, but same amount of top 5s. They both have 4 top 5s, which leads the league. Blake has 6 top 10s. Patrick has 5. So little difference there, and another story. Hopefully we don't jinx Blake, but I just noticed 0.000 incidents per lap from Mr. Blake Chapman. What that means is he hasn't hit anyone all season, ladies and gentlemen. 6 races, the man hasn't gotten fed a right rear or fed anyone a right rear or gotten in the wall hard enough to give himself any incidental points. So that is a heck of a story in itself. I don't think anyone ever really noticed that. It's very impressive of Blake, and it just shows he wins, but he wins clean. So you can't ask for any more than that. Let's ride along right now, Gary Taylor. Let's ride around with old Keith Digger. We come out of turn 4 here. You see, not too much, not too slick. He's pretty hammered down right now up top. Just trying to let that thing keep it as straight as he can. Get real close to the wall. Got a little uncomfortably. Heard him have to back out of the throttle there. It's what you don't want to have to do. You'd rather roll in with a little less throttle than get out of the throttle in the middle of the corner. That's something that will cost you a lot of straightaway speed. So don't exactly want to do that, but right now everybody is off the track. So not too sure. It looks like maybe they're getting ready to go qualifying here. Yeah, they are going to get ready to go qualifying here, so I know my man in the booth, he had went to the bathroom. I haven't heard from him. Hopefully he's back here and ready to go, or Connor Ross might be missing qualifying, but right now let's go. Patrick Spangler's out there, but right now Brandon Templeton, he's rolling around pretty quick. He's about to come to that first lap. So is Jack Clevenger, actually. Lap number 1, let's ride along with Jack Clevenger. He tries to keep that thing as straight as he can, really trying to carry all that exit speed out of turn 4. Let's see, first lap is going to come home at a 16:92, and remember in B qualifying, he'll be okay with that. It definitely can get quicker, as we see Patrick Spangler with a 16:81, and now Gavin Chatham, the man we saw was shot out of a cannon in the B series. Now he's your pole sitter with that 16:79. He's real quick right now. Blake Chapman going to put down a 16:90, going to come home in P4. Patrick Spangler, though, second time around, he gets quicker with a 16:76. Big lap from Patrick Spangler. Connor Ross out there qualifying now, first lap. He puts it in P3. Going to go into turn 4. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he can get any quicker. Going to run that middle line in 3 and 4. He's going to try to carry that speed, and we'll see what it is at the line. No, 16:89 right now. Good for P3. See John Short on lap number 2. It looks like he's the last person to need to put in his second lap here, as he's going to run the middle in 3 and 4, try to let it eat coming out of the corner. And is he going to get better? No, 17:31. John Short's going to stay P18. So your top 5 is going to be Patrick Spangler, Gavin Chatham, Connor Ross, Brandon Dittmer, and Blake Chapman. Well, a good qualifying effort there, Connor.
No, 100%. Should have been better on that second lap. Just didn't get a good exit off of 2. But hey, I'll take third position.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and give you your starting grid here for heat race number 1. We've got Jesse Bandy in the Vanderbilt machine number 49 on the pole to his outside, the 78 of Jack Clevenger. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the Spider Monkey Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and to his outside, the 39 of the high side banger Patrick Spangler. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, to his outside, Randy Shreves in the 56. And rounding out the field tonight is going to be the 114 of Brennan Lacey and the 36 of Barry Goldner. So, Connor, what did the track feel like in qualifying? Where do we think the preferred line is right now?
It's going to be middle to top. Definitely slicker in qualifying and rolling into Heat 1 than it was in the B division race. So you're going to see the top really take off. But if you can get it, you can run the bottom pretty fast, but majority is going to be up top.
We'll have to see here what the favorite line is Patrick Spangler, your pole sitter's really got his work cut out for him here. I'm going to start P4, heat number 1, and there's some big names in front of him. As the pace truck is off, and Jesse Bandy will wait for that green flag.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out, and it's time to go play in the clay. Jesse Bandy with a big slider in 1 and 2, going to try to shut the door on Jack Clevenger, and he's going to be able to do so. But Jack Clevenger maybe going to think about going back down to the bottom. No, he's going to stay up high and open the door there for the 39 of Patrick Spangler.
I was really surprised to see Patrick go down to the bottom. I know you're starting in 4th and he was in 3rd and you got to go, but I'm really surprised that he is on the bottom considering his nickname is a high side banger, Patrick Spangler. But he is one of the best and he is so good on the bottom. He is very versatile.
Yeah, you know as well as I do, though, Connor, this track can turn into quite the train track, and you got to go where they aren't. And if they're going to take the high side, Patrick's going to take the bottom and try to make it work. And now looked like Clevenger tried the bottom and opened the door up top for Dittmer, and Dittmer didn't think twice. He tried to pounce on that thing. It's going to all depend on this run out of turn 4, and he's going to get a big run. He's going to beat Clevenger back to the line.
Yeah, 100%. They're 3 to 6th now is under a blanket, technically. You got to battle for the transfer here.
Yeah, Kurt Schatzer all over the tail tank of Jack Clevenger, and don't look now. We got a battle for the lead. Patrick Spangler looking to maybe throw the slide job. Nope, going to keep it on the bottom in 1 and 2. Jesse Bandy's going to get a big run out of turn 2. Patrick's going to look up high in 3 and 4, maybe try to diamond down. Think about that crossover again, but not going to carry enough speed here. Jesse Bandy's got the lead here with 3 to go.
You also have a battle for the transfer spot right now. Schatzer, Lacey, and Clevenger 3 wide down the backstretch.
And while that's going on, Patrick Spangler, your new leader, going to throw a slider, but Jesse Bandy's going to cross him over, going to beat him back to the line. But now does Patrick have the preferred line here in 1 and 2? He's going to look to diamond under Bandy, and it looks like he's going to clear him coming out of 2. He's got him cleared going down the backstretch here with 2 to go.
Coming with 2 to go. You got a battle up front. You got a battle for the transfer spot. I'm keeping my eyes on the transfer spot. As Schatzer's right on the tail tape. Clevenger entering 1, slides up, and he's got to run through the middle there. I think you're going to see a slider this lap or next lap on the transfer spot.
Yeah, as we're out front, Patrick Spangler easily got it, but the battle is going to be for that final transfer spot. Kurt Schatzer's not going to be able to get it, as your top 4 are going to be Patrick Spangler, Jesse Bandy, Brandy Dittmer, Jack Clevenger, followed by Kurt Schatzer, Brennan Lacey, Randy Shreves, and Barry Goldner.
That was a hell of a heat race to open up the main A series here at Knoxville.
Yeah, and you saw Patrick go really hard. He knows how important the pole is here, so went extra hard to go get that, and I think it's going to pay off for him here starting on the pole of the feature. But let's give you the starting grid here for heat race number 2. We got Devo, Donovan Ross on the pole in the 05 is outside. Jack hitting the 217. Got the salesman in the number 20, Blake Chapman on the inside of row number 2 is outside the 99. The rocket ship, Gavin Chatham. The inside of row number 3, we've got the 513 of Jeff Barker, and on the outside, one of my favorite guys in this league, Old Smokey in the 161, Terry Landis. And rounding out the field tonight, we've got the captain, Gary Taylor.
Keep your eye on the 4th starter. That second row. You got Chapman and Chatham. Chatham, you just see put on a performance in that B series, and Chapman is always faster, and Donovan Ross on the pole.
Yeah, I think those are the two we got to keep our eye on
Green
here as the
flag,
pace
green
car is
flag.
off and they're ready to play in the clay here again. Donovan Ross with a great jump, able to really pull Blake Chapman, and Blake Chapman's going to stay to the bottom, looking to go to third to first in turn 1, and right now he's got it completed, but is he going to be able to carry the momentum out of turn 4? Oh, and look at Gavin Chatham,
Yep.
3 wide in the middle. Oh, the second row already to the front row here. It didn't even take a lap, Connor.
That was beautiful. Chapman was able to stick the bottom in 1 and 2 perfectly, and then Chatham split them 3 wide going into 3 and 4. They're through the middle as Chatham's running up on Chapman, but Chapman gets a really nice drive off on the bottom there.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see that bottom working like that this early for Chapman, but man, if anybody can make it work, it's him, and he is hooking up down there as Gavin Chatham sees it working. He's got to go down there. He's like, man, I can't let this guy walk away, but Devo Ross, he ain't going away either. He's looking up that high side. He's going to try to get a run here for P2.
If you go back to the Mike Westbrook Memorial, I think Blake Chapman ran the bottom that entire race, and he was super smooth. He had a little hiccup there and caught the curb there, but he is super smooth on that bottom, and that's what it takes to be fast. But Chatham's not giving up there on the top side.
Yeah, even the dog's getting excited with how this racing is going. Mine likes to speak up too whenever I see a good battle on the track. And right now, Gavin Chatham is running about the same times as Blake Chapman. Not letting him pull away, but not really catching him either. 17:34 to a 17:36 last time by. But
Chapman
Landis, he's made the move for 4th here, Connor. He's up 2 spots, but Jeff Barker, he's looking back on the bottom.
You've got a battle all over the track. They were almost 3 wide for that transfer spot there. Barker running the Barker line middle, the bottom there, and Donovan Ross cuts under. Let's see if Donovan has anything for Landis for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, somebody ought to tell those guys everybody's making the show tonight. Take a deep breath here as the white flag's coming out. Blake Chapman is still your leader, but man, he's got the dragon breathing down his neck there in P2.
He definitely does. As Landis runs into 3 and 4 for that final transfer spot, he's got that cleared.
Yeah, as we cross the line here for heat number 3, it's going to be Blake Chapman, Gavin Chatham, Jack Hitt, Terry Landis, Jeff Barker, Gary Taylor, and Donovan Ross.
I think it was Chapman there that he might be out of fuel, so he timed that perfectly. Someone was out of fuel. It was either him or Landis, but they timed that heat race perfectly.
Gary Taylor was pretty slow around there, and he just towed, and I think at end, I think he was out of fuel as well, so Gary might have tried to push it too close here as we get ready for heat number 3 here. Let's give you the starting grid. We've got Brad Waite in the 814 starting on the pole to his outside. Keith Jackson in the 113, the inside of row number 2, the 127 of Jesse Atkinson to his outside. Daddy's Money in the 35, Connor Ross. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 7 of Bob DeGood to his outside. We got the 51 Shorty, John Short. And rounding out the field tonight in heat number 3 is going to be the 31 car B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. Well, Connor, good luck here, man.
Thank you. This is going to be a tough heat. This is a very tough heat. As Keith Jackson is a former Renegades champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you have John Short, who's always good. So just keep our nose clear. Guys, almost spun that out.
Well, we'll give Connor a mute here so he doesn't wreck himself, and hopefully he finishes in the top 4 with us tonight. But pace truck should be ready to pull off here as we go through 3 and 4. Brad Waite in the 814 looking to lead us to the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out, and it looks like not the best start from Brad Waite. On the bottom is Keith Jackson's able to pull side by side going into 1 and 2. It's really going to help out Daddy's Money. Connor Ross he's going to get the battle for second now, but he's going to get in the wall, eat that right rear in the wall. It's going to hold him back. Brad Waite's going to be your leader here at the line for lap number 1. Jesse Atkinson, though, he's looking at the bottom, trying to go for P2 as They're 3 wide for the 4th and final transfer spot between John Short, Keith Jackson, and Connor Ross. You're watching the battle on the screen, folks. This is it. Connor Ross in the middle, 3 wide for that final transfer spot. Keith Jackson's looking to maybe cross over and get into that middle. He wants to be the meat in the sandwich. Right now, though, up front, Jesse Atkinson looking to make a pass for the lead here on Brad Waite. He's going to keep it down. Brad Waite's going to try to get a run on the high side, but just not going to have enough to get it done as Jesse Atkinson's going to send it off into 3 and 4. Think about sliding it up there in front of Brad, but not going to do it as it's going to be side by side at the line, but Jesse Atkinson has the spot here as we're halfway. The battle for 4th and final transfer spot has kind of settled down. Connor Ross has checked out a little bit from Keith Jackson, who's trying to wheel back in John Short, but Keith Jackson and Brandon Templeton are battling hard back here for the 5th position with 3 to go. Brad Waite cutting that lead back down to half a tenth a second, going down the backstretch. He's looking to the bottom. Jesse Atkinson going to try to keep that run off the top. Atkinson, just huge runs he's getting out of the top of 3 and 4, and it's really tough for Brad Waite to even think about the crossover. But meanwhile, John Short, he's reeling these guys in as we're coming out of turn 4. We're about to get the white flag. Jesse Atkinson just trying to hold onto the lead right now as Brad Waite's just trying to make him force a mistake up there up top, but doesn't look like he's going to make one. Jesse Atkinson final times through turn 3 and 4. The final flag is out. Checkered flag is waving, and Jesse Atkinson's going to win heat race number 4, followed by Brad Waite, John Short, Connor Ross, Bob DeGood, Keith Jackson, and Brandon Templeton. Well, that was heat race number 4, I do believe, so probably be getting ready to go to a quick intermission break here, take a warm-up break, but we'll be right back with you for some feature action. Now they're going to roll into warm-ups. They decided to take a while, but we'll be right back with you here. Alrighty, we're back here in Coast to Coast Racing Network. Monday Night Madness brought to you by Osh Weekend Speedway here. Right now, quickest car on the track is the 39 of Patrick Spangler, followed by Jack Hitt in 217 and Brennan Mason in 114. Other names you maybe expect to see there towards the top. Patrick Spangler with a 1746. Is it Blake Chapman 1766? He's 2/10 off, but he's a racer. I imagine that thing will be ready to go here once the feature rolls. So let me go ahead and hit you with the starting lineup here. Starting on the pole, we have the 39 of Patrick Spangler, the high side banger. It is outside the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. Inside of row number 2, we have Jesse Atkinson in the 127. It is outside the 49 of Jesse Bandy. Gavin Chatham in the 99 is going to start P5. It is outside Brad Wade in P6. Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, is going to roll off P7. And Jack Hitt is going to roll off P8. John Short is going to start in the 9th position. It is outside Jack Clevenger. And starting on the inside of row number 6, got the old Smoky Terry Landis. It is outside Daddy's Money Connor Ross. Kurt Schatz is going to roll off inside of row number 7. It is outside Jeff Barker in the 513. Bob DeGood is going to roll off P15 in the number 7. It is outside Brennan Lacey in the 114. Gary Taylor is going to roll off P17 in the number 34. It is outside in P18 Keith Jackson in the 113. Randy Shrees is going to roll off in 19th in the number 56. It is outside Devo in the number 20. Starting in the back row is going to be Brandon Templeton and Barry Goldner tonight. So, all right, Connor, good luck, man. Who you got out here tonight?
It's going to be tough. Blake Chapman's always fast here, but Gavin Chatham, he is my guy from the Bead series. I think he's going to take it from 5th. He took it from further than 5th last time, I think, last race. Or it might have been 5th, not sure. But Gavin Chatham is my pick for the race.
Stole my pick, kid. That's who I was going to take. I think that's a great pick. He was very fast in that B race, and I definitely look for it to carry over. But good luck here, Connor, man, and hopefully we get to interview you here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll throw Daddy's Money on mute here, see if he can end up with a podium tonight. But Connor made his pick. I'm going to make mine. We're going to go with the other Chapman. I think the bottom's going to come in, and nobody runs the bottom better than that number 20 car. So we're going to go with my long-lost relative here, the guy who inherited all the racing ability and left me with 0. So better go represent for the Chapmans tonight here, Blake. Go get it done. Well, we're getting ready to go 35 laps here at Knoxville Super Speedway. Who wants it? Who wants to hear it? Let us hear it. We're ready to play in the clay. Here's the green flag is out, and Patrick Spangler's going to fire on the green flag. Great jump from the 39. Is going to help Jesse Atkinson maybe get a run underneath the number 20 of Blake Chapman. But Blake Chapman gets a good run off of turn 2. He's going to shut the door, and he's going to hold on to P2. Don't look now, though. Who's that on the high side out there? Jesse Bandy's looking to make the high side work. Looking for that P3 position on Jesse Atkinson. As you see the fireworks, the smoke blocking our cameras out here. Gonna get a good run coming out of 4. He's gonna be able to take P3 at the line from Jesse Atkinson, and that may be a big deal. But meanwhile, Patrick Spangler out front just clicking off fast lap times. 17:62 last time by. Blake Chapman, though, not letting him go anywhere, keeping that gap at right about 0.3 of a second. Last time by for Patrick, 17:92. Last time by for Blake, 17:83. The rest of the field in the 18 seconds. So they're setting the pace out here, the front two. Let's go back here right now to the battle for P4. As Gavin Chatham, the man Connor Ross, picked to win this thing, is up on the move. He's up 1 spot, able to get by Jesse Atkinson, but right now, Blake Chapman all over the tail tank of that 39. We don't want to miss this battle. Patrick looks like he got a little loose in the middle of the corner, able to close up that gap even more on Spangler's Blake Chapman. Got it down to under 1/10 of a second. Contact! Oh, Patrick Spangler! Oh, between him and Blake Chapman, we're going to have to go back and just take a quick look at this and we'll jump right back to live. But let's ride on board with Blake Chapman. You see maybe floats up a little bit. Maybe Spangler comes down, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same for Patrick Spangler. He's got to drop back to the back. P21 for Patrick. Tough break. Big beneficiary of that, though, has to be the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Able to take over the lead after all that mess. And we saw how quick he was in that B-Series race. You know, guys better get on their horse if they want to keep up with that man, because he was rolling. Right now, though, hard charger up to P7. Look at him in that 414. Brennan Lacey up 9 spots, trying to go to work, trying to get a big run and go to work on Brandon Dittmer. Right now, he is able to clear off John Short and successfully take over P7.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, we have a caution. Caution is out. I'm hearing maybe Bob the Good. Let's take a look at this here. Bob the Good in the 7th, blue and white machine. Oh, Kurt Schatzer got loose, came down. Bob tried to check up, and it just looked like maybe Terry Landis got in the back of him as he checked up, but that is not Bob the Good's fault at all. Nothing he could really do there. That's tough break for Bob. But I'll tell you what, this is the story out here. 4th to 1st. Took him 7 laps. Now, did he get some help from front 2 tangoing a little bit there, doing a do-si-do, sending Patrick round and round, coming out of turn 2? Yes, he did. But sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. And I'll tell you what, that 99 car, he's got a lot of both. Right now, a lot of speed and a lot of luck to get to that P1 position. And, you know, Lady Luck might be on that number 99 red tonight. Coming out of turn 4 this time, though, I believe the pace truck was shutting those lights off here, getting the 1 to go. Those guys agree with me. I see Blake going down the bottom. They're starting to line up. So leader does get lane choice. Gavin's going to go with the bottom here, looks like. So he's just going to try to fire, I imagine, as low as he can in turn 3 and 4. Try to sucker Jesse Bandy into coming down beside him real tight and firing in the slick, because if not, I would have thought maybe Gavin would go up high. This is where he's comfortable, and he's actually going to do the opposite. He's going to maybe force him up there in the marbles. Gavin wants this middle, or maybe he's going to diamond off here, but right where it gets tack there in the middle, he's going to fire right after that. He's going to let the slick run out and do a later restart than he's been doing in the B-Series. You can just see that's how aware he is, because the track's different. So he's not going to fire that car in the same spot he had the success in the B-Series race. It doesn't make sense. This is a racer. He's adjusting track conditions, and he's doing what it takes to win. As Jesse Bandy, not really letting him pull away, though. Jesse Bandy is one of the best we've got, man. And he's going to try to set that fishing hook right in the tail tank and start to reel him in. Let's see, last time by Gavin Chatham with an 18:30 to an 18:35 with Jesse Bandy leading the boys last year, but instead of Jesse Bandy's, I think we might give you Blake Chapman. Boy, Blake is coming. He's not able to get it done there. Jesse's going to kind of shut the door, pinch him off, not let him carry momentum. And this is exactly, if you're that 99, this is what you want, folks. You want them battling back there for second. Gavin can just walk away. Let's go to Brennan Lacey, though, your current hard charger, still stuck in that 7th spot after being up 9. We rode with him earlier, and we saw him in this spot. He's got yet to be able to advance. Let's ride on board with him. Let's see what he sees. Going to try to keep it as straight as he can. And
The yellow flag is out.
see, he tightens up a little bit there and carried a lot of speed, but you hear him backing out of it. And that's what he does. We have another caution. Hearing word it might be Brandon Templeton. So maybe, let's take a look here. It's 31 machine. You're looking at the black and green 31. Three wide, it looks like. It's got a, maybe Devo didn't know they were 3 wide, but yeah, just ran over the left rear of Brandon Templeton and he's kind of victim there. Got a car on the high side, couldn't really go much higher. So tough break, but definitely no maliciousness there from that 05. Didn't look like to me. Man, out front though, still setting the pace. Gavin Chatham, and you know, you got to wonder. I'm sure Blake does feel a little bit of guilt. He wins a lot, but I've talked to him. He knows when he makes a mistake, and you know, like I say, I'm not even blaming him for that. Could have been Patrick coming down a little bit. It went live, didn't get a caution. We didn't get to get a good look at it. It's something we may have to try and find here. Maybe under the next caution while I have my mind on it. But you know, you got to wonder, Blake, did he damage that right front? Or is he just taking it easy trying to save that right rear tire? Because we aren't even halfway yet. And Blake is one of those guys that very aware of the tire wear. And Brandon Templeton, or Dittmer, brought it up in his interview last race. He had no right rear tire left, and they go 5 laps less than these guys. So you gotta be smart. You gotta be willing to run the bottom when you need to, even if it isn't the fastest, just to save a little bit of tire. And that might be what Blake's doing, but I'll tell you what, he better hurry, because if that Patrick Spangler gets back up there, he may not be a happy camper. Speaking of that, he's back here at P15 right beside our man Connor Ross. So pace truck is off, and Gavin Chatham will control the restart. Fired in almost that same spot this time. He waits right till it turns tacky. So you got to wonder if these guys are maybe going to map that out, or if Gavin next time, if we have another restart, is going to change it up. You don't want to become predictable, especially against the best of the best. You gotta be able to hit them with a little trick play every now and then. We were talking about Brandon Dittmer earlier, and here he is peeking his way up into the top 5. I see, trying to get a run on Jack Hitt, trying to take P4 away, but meanwhile Jesse Atkinson, he's trying to fight back there for P5. It looks like if you're willing to maybe beat up that right rear tire, the top might be coming in, as Jack Hitt's starting to look pretty quick up there, carrying a lot of speed, and Jesse Atkinson as well. He's getting that really rolling as he's able to look to the high side there. They're 3 wide for P4. Now it's almost like Blake Chapman too. He heard the call, man. He heard me talking about it. He knows it's time to go. He's starting to run down Gavin a little bit. He was able to get by Jesse Bandy there for P2, and now he's gonna try to go see if he can't do some hunting. Blake Chapman's gonna crack out of the throttle there as he got real close to the back of Gavin Chatham, and that almost opened the door for Jesse Bandy. Jesse Bandy with a big run there going in, but lost all that momentum coming out, as Jesse Atkinson with a big run coming out carries that momentum into 3 and 4, and we're going to have a new bottom step of the podium here at the start-finish line. Jesse Atkinson for P3. Jesse Bandy is not going away, though. He's thinking about throwing that slider, not able to complete it. Is he going to go in here and throw it hard? Yes, he is. He's going to park it up there on the 127. But Jesse's going to look to diamond off, and Jesse's going to beat him back to the line again and take the high line back here. But the heat's on for P1. Blake Chapman hooking up the bottom in 1 and 2. Side by side going down the backstretch. Going to throw it into 3 and 4. Gavin Chatham's going to give him no room. Going to hold that middle. Blake Chapman's not going to be able to carry in a momentum off. Gavin's going to have him at the line, but they're side by side. Gavin's going to pinch him down in there. Blake's doing a good job of holding it down there. Blake's going to get a good run off of 1 and 2 on the bottom. That's where you want to be on the bottom. If you're Gavin, that's not really where you want to pinch. You don't want to pinch in 1 and 2. Pinch in 3 and 4 here, Gavin. You did that right. Now take the top side back. No, he's going to hold the middle, and Blake Chapman beat him to the line. It's going to be Blake Chapman's race to lose here at this point. This is going to carry momentum out of turn 2, and we got a new leader. But Gavin Chatham's going to look right back under him. Is he going to be able to get a run off the corner? No, he's not. Blake Chapman, still your race leader, as Jesse Atkinson watches this all happen from the P3 position. Starting to get a mirror full of Brandon Dittmer. As Brandon Dittmer gets in the wall, we see him hop. Is the right front okay?
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, looks like the right front is okay, and caution is out for Randy Shreves. kind of spoke for itself here. I don't think he needs me to pile on him. He just went in there, drove a little bit, got right there in the wall. When he turned it out of the wall, just lost it. And lucky enough for everybody else, able to get through unscathed there, because that could have been bad. I think my booth buddy, he might have had a little bad luck here. We'll unmute Connor, try to find out what happened. What happened, Connor?
I missed the gearing on that one and just blew the right rear off. I was way too loose, and just some nights go good and some nights go bad, and just missed the setup. So back up here, and I want to watch the action.
Yeah, I know. Like you're not as big as me, but we're pretty big boys. So I'm glad you hustled your butt out of the car and got up here to the booth with me for these final 10 laps. I appreciate it.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't much of a run. It's a pretty easy transition. I'm not out of breath, but I think we're one to go here. Lights are off on the pace truck, and it is the Chapman and Chatham show, is from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Gavin's kind of running that middle line down, but surprise, surprise, who other than Blake Chapman getting the bottom to work? He held it real good in 1 and 2, and I'm not sure if you heard us earlier, Patrick, or Connor, but Patrick Spengler might not be too happy right now.
No, I was close enough that I was able to see, not them wreck, but see one car, 2 cars, but wreck. But here we are with the restart. Chapman gets a good run.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Great jump over Gavin, and that's going to take a lap or two if Gavin even wants to think about passing him. It's going to take 2 or 3 laps now to even catch him. So Blake did exactly what he needed to do. Great throttle control through turn 1 and 2, and man, he set the pace.
Don't look now. Jesse Atkinson has that top side rolling. He's getting a great run on entry and through the middle here, but he just can't get anything going on exit. Dittmer's setting up to pass him.
Yeah, Atkinson, he's been rolling that high side. He's been real aggressive, especially in 1 and 2. It seems like he makes up a lot of time there, but sometimes he overdrives it, gets that right rear in the wall, and he gives it all back. So I imagine, I'm not driving right now, but I imagine it's a real thin cushion up there on the top in 1 and 2. But look now, look who's back to P5. That 39 machine. He's coming hunting, Connor.
And Patrick was really fast on that bottom. I was following him getting through the field, but he gapped me. But no, he is super smooth and fast on that bottom.
Fastest car on the track.
That's what he's got to do.
1762. Fastest car on the track.
He's getting a great run on Dittmer here. He might get a 2 for 1 here next corner. He's pulled up alongside of that Dittmer ride, and he's looking for Atkinson.
Yeah, he needs a caution to come fast, but he needs it to come after he gets these 2. It's going to be a long way to go to try to run down P2 and P1, but if anybody can do it, it's that 39 machine right now. He is running fast, and he's doing it on the bottom.
He definitely is, and he's closing in on Chapman, if I'm not mistaken. Even though he's running the bottom against these 2, he's past Atkinson right now, but Atkinson might have a run off the top here.
Identical lap time to your leader last time around for Patrick Spengler. He is up to P3. He's going to throw the slider here, try to finish the job. Looks like he's going to carry momentum. He is going to be able to get it done. He needs to get back to the line. He's got P3. Now Patrick is begging for a caution out here because Blake Chapman is up to a second lead over P2.
Oh, he definitely needs a caution, but I think it helped him.
There
he goes. He's got one.
There it is. Oh, man. Gary Taylor and possibly Bob DeGood. Let's go back. Let's see if we can't get a look at this thing. It's Gary Taylor in the 34. And Bob DeGood under him in the 7. Gary's just going to get a little loose. Yeah, in the slick. Whoa, what a ride. Rode the fence and landed on all 4. Hang on to her, Gary.
I think we got to give style points to the captain there.
Yeah, I agree. That's should be a new bonus point category. If you're listening, Roger, he deserves bonus points for saving that one and landing on all 4.
If any Leaf fans are watching, the Leafs just took the lead over the Bruins 3-2. Austin Matthews scored, so I'm pumped for that. But you know what I'm more pumped for? This battle for the lead here after this restart. Patrick Spengler is driving through the field. He is up to 3rd. That is exactly what we were just talking about. So he needed a caution. He needed one fast, and right as he got them, he got one. And I know some drivers drive better. I don't know if he's mad or not, but some drivers, when they get mad, look out because they will drive through the field. And Patrick Spangler has, so keep an eye on that 39 car in third position.
Yeah, and Patrick's a bull right now, and if you're that 99, you got red on that thing, you got to get the heck out of the way because he is rolling, and I think he does have a score to settle.
He definitely, I don't know if Gavin's going to go top or bottom here, but Patrick, he can get it done on the bottom.
Within 10 to go. We're going to go single file.
It's going to be, I'm not sure if Gavin was running the last few laps there on the top side. You know where Blake is. He's catfishing on the bottom, but the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, he's ambidextrous. I can't say that word, but he can go both ways. We're going to go with that. He can do both here, so keep an eye out for the 39 car.
No, you're exactly right. I think it's a case of he's got to go where Gavin doesn't. He's got to make it happen quick here. Is coming out of turn 4, pace truck is off, and we'll fire on that number 20 car. There he goes. Great start. Gavin Chatham gets loose, opens the door for the 39, but shuts it real quick. Is that your battle right now for P2?
I don't think Gavin knew he had that good of a run, but Patrick Spangler had such a good restart there. He's on the inside. He might get him off of 4 here.
Yeah, he needs to clear him at the line in case another caution comes out, and he's not able to, but he's going to throw it in real hard on the bottom of 1 and 2. Going to hook it up real good, gets a pull in the middle of the corner, and, man, we got a new driver in P2 going down the middle of the backstretch.
He's got it here. He's just got to not make any more mistakes on the bottom. He's got to clear him or throw his slider and get going as you got 2 more laps to go.
Yeah, 2 to go.
He needs
He's back
a caution.
up to P2. Just don't know if we have enough time right now. Blake Chapman able to pull that lead out to 1.2 seconds. And Patrick Spangler still struggling with Gavin. He needs a caution now if he wants a shot at this lead. But it doesn't look like we're getting one as Blake Chapman going across the finish line for one of the final times. Here's running the white flag.
Patrick missed the bottom there, but Gavin got a good run off of 4 here. He is almost side by side with Patrick, but Patrick sticks it on the bottom. Blake Chapman just ran away with that one there.
Yeah, Blake Chapman did run away, but the battle is for P2 at the line. Oh, who got it?
Chatham got him by a nose.
Oh, Blake Chapman, the salesman's going to pull it out. Gavin with a heck of a run to take second back from Patrick. Patrick, your third and final podium. Jesse Atkinson, P4. Brandon Dittmer, P5. Jesse Bandy, P6. Brennan Lacey, P7. Jack Hitt, P8. John Short coming home 9th. And Keith Jackson rounding out the top 10. Wow.
I don't wish for much cautions in a race, but I would have loved to see one with 2 to 3 to go there. I wanted to see what Patrick Spangler had for Chapman there.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. And, it's going to be, well, I guess it won't be as interesting waiting room as it could have been because we'll be pulling Patrick up here first, finishing 3rd. But, man, with the 1st and 2nd, they might have had some time to talk about some things. But let's go back, and it's going to be tough for me to find this. But let's see if I can't find that contact. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to here. Blake Chapman. Bear with me here, people. That was just such a big thing. I would have loved to have found that. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. Let's just take one more look at this before we pull the guys up. So Patrick Spangler, we're going to slow it down here. Let's get a real good look. So he's going to lose the bottom a little bit. I'm going to go over top here. Let's go in the drone camera. So it looks like Blake held the bottom. I don't think we can blame Blake for that. That was just, he held the bottom. Patrick got a little loose, tried to come back down, and man, that's just a case of good hard racing from those guys. Can't take it from them. But let's go ahead and let's bring up Patrick Spangler here. P3. Hey, Patrick. Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Well, hey, I don't know if you got a chance to go back and look at it yet, but we just slowed it down, and I don't think we can really blame Blake on that one, man. Looked like he got just a tad sideways there, but what it feel like in the car?
I just got a little loose, and Blake had it rolling on the bottom. Just tight racing there. But yeah, I was happy to get the come back through the field there. Got a few X's I probably didn't need if I want to compete for the championship, but that's on me. I was racing like chicken with my head cut off there, trying to come back up to the front. So sorry, whoever I got into on the way there, but yeah, good recovery, and hopefully I get a couple more strong finishes this season and give Blake a challenge. But he's run really good because there's no more cushion really on this build unless you're at Eldora. A lot of around the bottom, which he just really excels at.
Yeah, okay. That was actually my next question because I saw it did look really thin up there, guys getting in the wall. And, I mean, we call you the high side banger, so we kind of expect you to be up there, but I'm guessing there wasn't anything up there for you tonight.
No, not really. Not tonight.
Well, Patrick, it was a good run, man. It's a shame it's a hard charger and not total cars passed because fighting your way up through the field like that, 30 laps, damn impressive. But congratulations on P3. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just you and Connor for the broadcast this week. Rod to run the league. Dan Uncle back on watching Trainers Racing. Jesse and Brandon racing tonight, and Dude XM Designs for the design.
Well, hell of a job, Patrick. Great recovery, man. And we're going to see you the Super Dirt Car Week?
Probably not. I usually take those off unless it's the Knoxville race. So I'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good, man. I'll hopefully talk to you next Monday night. That's your third place finisher, Patrick Spangler. We bring up the man P2 here. We'll let Connor Ross get a word here with Gavin Chatham.
Gavin and Connor, you got a copy.
I hear you guys.
Well, you won the last race there, and you finished P2. Great night for you. Is there anything else you could have done differently, either with setup or driving with the line, or anything you could have done to reel in Blake Chapman there?
If I didn't I made a mistake on one of the laps there, which allowed him. We were just me and Blake were just talking, and that's what it was. It was fun racing. It was good racing. And it was fun to see the line kind of change. It was either the bottom or kind of like a lane up from the bottom. If there's a strip of moisture, if you hit it right, you get runs, and that's kind of how I got the lead there at the start of the race. Everyone's kind of pinched to the bottom, and I ran that lane up, and I was able to get some bite there and go. One lap I bobbled and he got underneath me, and you can't make mistakes with Blake, and he's going to capitalize on it. And congrats to him to the win, and heck of a battle between me and Patrick there for second and third there. That was a good race with him. No, I just a mistake, and then I made a mistake on that final restart there where I was trying to stay with Blake, and if I could stay with him, I felt like I could maybe either pressure him into making a mistake, or maybe I could find something. And I clipped the berm coming off of 4, and that was basically it. And I know I held Patrick up a little bit on that one, but that's my mistake, and it is what it is. We'll take a second though. It definitely feels good to finish second, especially in the top division here at Coast to Coast.
Well, hey, yeah, quick question for you real quick. Shaggy up here. Did you know you beat Patrick to the line there at the end, or did you have to look at the standings? That was close.
I had to look at the standings. I was waiting for it to. I knew we were side by side. I could hear them, and I knew it was just going to be a drag race down to the end. And I tried to. I know that going into 3 and 4, I believe he was a little bit ahead of me, but trying to pinch it off the corner, you got really loose. I think that's what happened to him, and I was able to kind of diamond it a little bit. And I got off the corner. I hit the moisture down there on the straightaway, and I just full sent it or just laid down on the gas, and hopefully it stuck. And I think it did, because we were probably in a dead heat down the straightaway. And then I was looking at the relative, waiting for it to flip either to third for me or stay second, and stayed second. So that was a heck of a race between me and him. Good for him to get back up there too. I know he had something go on at the beginning of the race there, but heck of a battle with those guys. Those guys race very well, Blake and Patrick, and it's always fun to duel it out with them.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short, man. You're one of the best we have too, and every time you show up in these things, you prove it night in and night out. So congratulations on that P2, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast, doing an awesome job with that. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing, all the sponsors, all the admins, everybody behind the scenes, everybody who puts on the leagues, and everybody that helps out put this league on. I want to thank you all. We appreciate it. I also thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Miller Time Motorsports, and oh gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Well, thank you everybody, all the sponsors. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching the races and supporting this league. I really hope we put on a good show for you all tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the racing. I know I did from the seat. It was definitely fun for sure tonight, and I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me.
Yeah, man, you put on a hell of a show tonight, and since you didn't win tonight, you should blame Connor. He picked you for that win, so we'll call it the Connor jinx on you tonight.
I can't blame it on Connor. That was all driver. That was on me. I made a couple small mistakes, and you can't make mistakes with these guys. When you make a mistake, they'll capitalize on it. But you know what? It's static to run up front with these guys. I know they're fast, and we have speed. We have the same speed they do, which is awesome. And haven't won in the top division yet here, so I'm sure it's coming soon. I hope. Just got to keep plugging away.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
You run like that, man. It's coming. That was a hell of a job tonight, man. And I'm definitely going to be interviewing you for a win here one of these Mondays coming up. But congratulations and a hell of a job tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a great night.
That's Gavin Chatham, your P2 finisher. But now we're gonna talk to the man here. What is that? Win number 4, I believe, Blake. Way to get it done again, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I just got to apologize to Patrick there on that incident early on in the race. I saw him kind of slip up there, and when you race around a guy like Patrick, you don't expect him to make any mistakes at all. So I just thought I had to take advantage of the opportunity and kind of just misjudge a corner there, and I had a really good run. But in hindsight, I should have backed out of it a little bit more. It just sucks because obviously he had a really fast car tonight coming up through the field, and anytime we both have fast cars at Knoxville, it's going to be a good show. And Gavin also had a really fast car, so I think it would have been a lot better race if that incident didn't happen. But either way, I think everybody did a good job of running as hard as they could. And like I said, Patrick had a really fast car tonight, was able to go from the back all the way up to third. And Gavin gave me really hard test up front, and just definitely didn't make it easy on me.
Yeah, it seemed like he made one little mistake there, and you capitalized on the bottom, made him pay for it right away. So that was a great job by you. But I don't beat yourself up too hard, Blake, about that battle for P1. We went and took a look at it here after the race, got a good aerial shot, and not much more you could do there, kid. You held your line, and that's who you're battling for the points with. So nothing more you can do but just hold your line. He kind of got sideways. We interviewed him. He talked about it. I think he knows that, and he just maybe when it hooked back up, got back into you. So looked pretty good from me. Definitely was questionable live till we got a chance to look at it. But, man, I don't think there's much more you could have done. Like you said, you guys are both racing hard and fast. And, dude, you're so close to him when he makes that mistake that unless you slam on the brakes and risk spinning yourself out, I don't think there's much more you could have done.
Yeah, definitely not. And I didn't even get any incidents from it, so I wasn't sure at the time if it was netcode or not. So, but yeah, I had heard Patrick talking about it a little bit on this new build. I've heard him talk about before. He doesn't really necessarily like it because, that cushion's gone away. But I remember running here in the past where it's just you got to be up on that cushion the entire race, and to me that's kind of boring. And I really like this new build where you can run the bottom, and that middle was there too. You're able to pass guys through the middle, and I'm sure Patrick passed some guys up top too. So I think this track was really, really good tonight.
Yeah, you brought up the middle. I don't think iRacing has done the best job visualizing it. But I think, these 35-lap races, that middle line starts to pick up some rubber towards the end, don't you think? It really gets some good grip.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to it, man, but it gets fast, especially at some of these bigger tracks. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen at the smaller tracks. I'm not sure where we're at next week, but I'm sure we got some smaller tracks up on the schedule. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Well, Blake, the 4th time on the top step tonight, so I don't think I need to tell you what to do. You know what to do next.
Yes, sir. I got to thank the family for watching. I got to thank all the boys at the Krite Sim Racing team and the Can-Am Racing team. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to shout out Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. Don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. I got to thank Sweet Pea for all the support tonight. Zach, if you're out at Knoxville this year, I have to introduce you to Sweet Pea. She's a gem, and I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
Well, congratulations, Blake, and hopefully I talk to you again next week, my man.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, Zach.
Oh, yeah, I stuck him out on you, Connor, but say it. He'll
I
hear
just
it on
say
the
congrats. I just say congrats on the run, Blake. You know, Blake's always good. He's good everywhere, but Knoxville, it seems like Blake just not dominates, but he puts everything together, and he's perfect here. It seems like he dominates every time we come here. But no, I just want to say thank you for letting me chime in and announce a little tonight. I'm not used to that. Learned that from my dad, but this was a blast. Thank you.
Hey man, Pops would be proud of you. You're gonna have to get him to go back and listen to it. You did a great job, and I couldn't have done it without you tonight. You were a big help here for Monday Night Madness, sponsored by Osh Weekend Speedway. I hope you guys had a good night here with me and Connor, and don't forget tomorrow night I'll be back at it here with first night of our Super Dirt Week. Like I say, if you're not registered, $15 per one entry, $20 for the whole show. Get you in 2 cars, and top 5 total in points do pay out. I'm not going to put the pressure on you, but I will put the pressure on you a little bit. Normally we donate it back. I'd like to see a lot of money go that way, but, we're not going to pressure you into doing it one way or another. But once again, Shaggy here with Coast to Coast Racing League here with the Slide Job Racing Network and Shaggy TV. Happy to bring you Monday night, and we'll be back with you tomorrow night. Once again, thanks from me and my partner, Connor Ross, and I'll see you tomorrow night here.